You to make some noise. It's time to get into the game. It's USA.
Two Graviton Surge just coming in. Mezzer picks up two. God's another one. Tailspin with one more. It's going to be Marcock frozen there.
Oh, we're going full America at this point. Raucus has the EMP again, so they got it back anyway. There it is, coming in, and Jake with the Dragon Blade. Looking for a bit more. They drop this up here. Nice for the flex on the Zonda. That does it.
The crowd here in this fully packed arena is loving it.
Blossom when they drop down as an option. It's going to be dueling. Cold Essence is here. Comes Corey once more. Barrels through Mano. Knocks down the door.
Show some love for you.
Heel hacks on the arm and now links to himself before. That's a stick. Let's show him what's Hardy Bill to save you from that.
There you have it.
I think we know who the hometown crowd is cheering for, Zoe.
What is up, World Cup fans? It is so nice to be here to see you all as Team USA is on the road to Busan. The road's got some time for a few pit stops to have a good old time, and that's just what I'm here for, joined by my good old friend, Jag. It's been too long, buddy.
It's been forever, really. It's been, I think, 2.5 years since we last cast together. It's been a hot minute, and I am so glad to have you here by my side for this community night. Like you said, the road to Busan, we've got a little bit of time before we get there, so we're having some fun along the way. I'm really excited to have everyone here playing with some of our content creators. You know, our players, most of them are currently boot camping for OWCS in Paris. We'd love to have them here, but we've got a lot of amazing content creators at our disposal, so we're going to be having some fun playing some games with them. It's all for just a good time. You know, we're not taking things too seriously, but hopefully we still get some good gameplay as well.
Yeah, you know, some chill vibes, and you know, it's community night, right? Community is the key thing. You know, it's it's a magical feeling. The Overwatch World Cup, it's one of the most magical things in esports, and everybody always rallying around their team. And, you know, as we all coalesce around Team USA this time around, one more trip, one more go of it, you know, the community gets to come together and, you know, have a little bit of fun, play together, play some games, have a chill time, you know, maybe troll each other a little bit, play some off rolls, you know, play it like pugs, but good time.
Yeah, I already saw Mr. Zeta say, hey, anyone who can Ajax Rakattack, you get $5. So we already have some stakes at
I
our
was putting out
disposal.
bounties. Like,
We're just putting out bounties on everyone. We might see some players, you know, at some point, actually. Some might show up here and there. But for those who don't know me, you know, CeeBee already introduced me. I'm Jag. I'm actually the social lead for Team USA. So we've been putting together a lot of really cool stuff, you know, on socials here in our community. I think we've got about 1,200 people in the Discord, which is really awesome. We have a very active scene. And it's just really awesome bringing everyone together. Of course, you know, we've got Busan upcoming eventually, but for now, I know we're going to Neon Junction for our first map to give a little bit more information about how this is going to work. Joystick, our newest content creator, will be playing against Rakattack. They will be set on different teams for the entirety of this night. But the rosters they play with, they will continue to be changing. You know, people will be coming through. We're having people of all skill sets, of all skill levels. So we might see, you know, some very different lineups throughout the night, but Joystick and Rakattack, they'll be continuing to play against each other for pride and bragging rights.
yeah, the two most American values I can think of, pride and bragging rights, that's what we're all about here. So embodying the spirit of the good old US of A with, again, this is a fun little community game night. Pride, this is, you know, bragging rights. All you gotta do it for. I think you said so many people in the community, in the server. One in particular, you know, when you say of all skill levels, we saw Infected hop into the chat. I'm not saying he might show up, but, you know, it'd be a bit of an unfair advantage if one of the two managed to draft him and catch him for a game. You know, get a little bit of 2-on-1 action when it comes to these high-level players. But, you know, there's a couple of GM players, a couple of champions in amongst the crowd here, so can go a lot of different ways. But either way, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. And kicking things off on Neon Junction, this map is gorgeous. Our Blizzard are like undefeated when it comes to just making like perfect, beautiful, picturesque maps.
I will say, from my personal experience, I feel like this map is very hard to hold for first point defense. I feel like it's just very difficult. So we'll see if Team Joystick, who I believe will be on defense first, can do that. But here are the rosters for the initial round. Some of people that I know, Adil was, I know, very involved with Team Pakistan, so really cool to see him here. We also have our actual community managers, Cartman and Yoji, in for the first game as well. So we got some staff showing up. They are also running this event, so I think this might be their one and only game. But, you know, we got to give them a little bit of time to play as well. And then, of course, we've got Joystick and Rakattack. I'm most curious to see, you know, if they'll be playing their main roles. Joystick, mostly known as a Vendetta player these days, but, you know, flex around on DPS. Rakattack, of course, a main support who has been at the pro level in the past. Right now is just enjoying that content creator life, can still hang with the best. But I'm wondering if they'll play in their main roles, or maybe they'll flex around what their team can play.
I think, you know, to kick things off, at least you got to give him at least one on the main roles, and, you know, maybe if Rakattack with that pro experience is able to, you know, herd the sheep a little bit and get them all together as a collective, maybe go for a pub stomp or two on the Joysticks team. Maybe then we go for a little bit of off-rolling, a little bit of trolling, but, you know, for pride right out of the gate, I think you go for one on the main. I see no reason not to.
We got to set the tempo right. Like, obviously, not a whole lot at stake besides the pride, as we mentioned before, but we want to send a message like, hey, like, I'm not taking this easy. I'm going to play the best for my team as possible. I mean, if we're going to see some Ajaxes, and I actually saw Rakattack respond to Mr. Zeta saying, you know, I'll do it myself. So I guess he's going to take that $5. You know, hey, if there's a bounty on you, might as well cash in on your own. So
how's he going to Ajax himself? What, like...
Just like jump off the map while hitting the sound barrier. I think that's the easiest way. We'll see that happens. We're gonna take a few more moments before we get into the first map, but I guess speaking more on Neon Junction, like, what would you want to see for team compositions overall? I mean, I think Xion obviously is a great pick overall, very strong, and also has some connections with the map. Is there any other heroes you're hoping to see?
I mean, a bit of a home field advantage, but I think the main thing that I want to see is I want to see the bees coming out on this map. I want to see a couple of bees in the kill feed. I mean, it's one of my favorite things about this map is, you know, getting like that rare occurrence where it happens. It'd be so nice to get that one to happen. And how good would that be for the bragging rights if you could just, like, You know, that'd be, you know what? Nope, that's the way to do it. That's the way to Ajax. Can we get an Ajax with the bees for the first time? That's what I want.
First time ever, potentially. You know, I'm really curious about the tanks. I've personally been playing a lot of the new 1-3-2 mode, which really feels like 2-2-2 at the end of the day. I know there is an option for a third DPS every game I've played. Seems like they're going back to 2-2-2 though. But like looking at the tanks, I mean, Domina, newest tank, really has been interesting, but I don't know if she's the strongest here. I feel like here you've seen a lot more kind of aggro play. I know Rakattack himself, or excuse me, Infected himself, has been playing a lot of Reinhardt. I know that Rak does like to play Reinhardt from time to time though, so maybe he'll come out on the Rein himself. I wonder though, like, do you try to go for that aggressive brawl style right away, or do you maybe play a little more patiently and play a more poke?
I mean, it's for fun. Like, I don't think you got to go for patience. You don't got to be surgical with it. You don't got to be calculated. I think you just run it down. And honestly, like, this is the exact kind of situation where whether he's meta or not, like, you know people are going to be reaching for Reinhardt. Like, you're gonna see my shield merchant at least once today. I would put money down on it. And this, you know, might not be the best map for it to happen, but that also kind of makes it the best map for it to happen in these these kind of like puggy community night situations. Like, why not? Just let it rip.
Yeah, I agree. I think also, like, you know, we like to think analytically. I mean, you're also a color caster at heart. I just force you into the play-by-play because I'm terrible at it. And that's kind of the fun thing about a pug night, though. Like, you know, all these things that we know, all these things that we see at the highest levels, even though we have these high-level players, it might not matter too much. You know, these players don't necessarily have the same synergy you might see at the pro level, but that's what makes it so fun. We're going to be able to see a lot of different combinations, a lot of different kind of individual skills come through and shine through. And here we are, going into map 1. We're seeing Joystick is going to be on defense or on the blue side all night. We're not going to switch sides. We're going to make it as easy as possible on the viewers to know where people are. But we'll see who everyone locks. And Rakattack, at least for the time being, going to be on that Ana. And Joystick, I'm shocked. The Vendetta? No way.
I say. Yeah, I also said, you know, put money down that the Reinhardt's coming out, and lo and behold, literally frame 1, first hero we see, it's Reinhardt. You know, what else could it be? In a community game night, you're always gonna see it, and I'm loving to see it. And again, I love to get into it with you. I'm excited. You know, I get to flex my play-by-play chops. I don't often get to do that when I get to visit Overwatch these days. So let's give it a go. My first time around on Neon Junction, and first map of the night: Team Rakattack versus Team Joystick. Let's get it.
Those are the bees. We'll see if that bee Ajax comes into fruition. But it's not going to be a round matchup right away. It will be the Sigma. So Team Rakattack playing on, say, a little bit more pokey because they have that tank that can do a little bit more range damage. But Team Joystick, if they want to hit the go button and go for that charge, they could play a very aggressive tempo.
Well, there's the charge, but right into the feet of Optimus Prime there. So not the most effective of charges. And Team Rakattack has a fair bit of angles to play with now. And Lexi on the Cassidy here, gonna let the Peacekeeper shots ring, and Team Joystick, you know, that Reinhardt not doing a whole lot of shielding right now, has to get back over to the choke, but it's giving Team Rakattack a way on through. But have they just baited them into Joystick's trap? And Yoji going in, taking him down. It seems like the trap has been sprung, but it was on Joystick all along. And first fight going the way of Team Rakattack, that's gonna guarantee at least 1 tick, probably the second, before anybody has anything to say about it. And yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's gonna get back to deny the third either.
Yeah, it's just difficult to hold this point. I think there's so many good angles for the attacking team. You can go high ground, you can wrap around, you can go through the toy store. It's just really difficult. I would not be surprised if both teams at least cap this first point. I think full holding is very, very difficult. But the biggest thing for Team Rakattack is not only do they cap that with a lot of time, the ult bank is already building up. Rakattack already has a nano, which is pretty crazy. That's a pretty expensive ult to build up, and we're going to see at least the Freya use their ult first.
Also, I just realized we're on quick play rules, so, you know, I would be surprised to see both teams cap point A, because we're only going to get to see one of them go for it at all. And Team Rakattack making the most of the opportunity, taking it and taking down Firebird as well, forcing some more swaps out of Team Joystick, and keeping this cart rolling. And a sleep from Rakattack onto Riptide there. Your front line is caught snoozing, my friend, and even gonna have that Earth Shatter on deck, but ain't gonna be a whole lot of opportunities for Team Joystick to use it. Gravitic Flux also gonna be online for Team Rakattack. Firebird letting out the artillery strike, trying to segment off the back line of Team Rakattack from the front line, and Riptide gonna separate the Sigma's head from his shoulders with that fire strike, and another one for Lexi. Beautiful stuff, and a good defense now for Team Joystick.
Well, they found Rakattack hiding by the subway.
What you doing up here?
It was def no matter what. I think they were probably trying to reset. Rak was just trying to throw himself into the train, not give up any more ult charge. And Team Joystick, like you said, they hold on. They're able to find a good defensive position, but that was a very expensive fight. They used so many ultimates right there just to hold this position. And Team Rakattack, they will come back with their Critic Flux. They'll come back with the Deadeye, so they've got a lot at their disposal still to use. And Rakattack actually, not Rakattack, but Team Rakattack, they're going to be swapping on now to the Jetpack Cat.
Yeah, that's Yoji, my oomphy Overwatch League shout out over there on the Jetpack Cat as the Gravitic Flux goes a little bit wide, and oh, we're gonna get a Sky Noon play coming out. Luau able to take one down, finding that Kiriko on the other side, but that bullet shot now from Phaedra. Joystick though with the Sundering Blade, able to find two from the top rope. I don't think Team Rakattack saw that one coming, but Rak, he saw that one coming and couldn't do a whole lot about it. Phaedra will put him down, and Team Rakattack will end up winning out the fight, but it's only 2 remaining members to push this cart. They ain't gonna get a whole lot of progress off that.
Joystick almost clutched out there, but we're gonna get a listen in right now, Team Rakattack.
My audio was a little low. I don't know if he said Nano Cat or Nano Cast, but it's going to be, I think the Cast that ended up getting the Nano, but the Sig might have needed it as Firebird takes him down off a nice pin there from Riptide, and it was an interesting plan from Team Rakattack, but I don't know, Jag, I don't think it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the idea. I think it was on the Cast, you know, the Electric Cowboy as he was known back in the day. But it just seems like they couldn't really get any momentum there. The charge that came in from Riptide was really, really nice. Kind of delayed anything that Team Rakattack had planned. Now we're going to see Sean swap over to the D.Va. So now going to go away from a little bit more of a stalwart comp. D.Va can fly into them. Still has that major feed of all of that damage. But it's going to be Rakattack's team once again engaging.
Yeah, good bullet shot, but an even better block and an even better shatter from Riptide. A nice 2K coming through. Rakattack on his back and Luau down with him. And Yoji able to take, was that into the train? The catnap onto the Bastion, into the train? All right, Team Rakattack may have lost the fight, but I think Yoji won the war.
I think you and I talked about, like, you know, it's about aura, it's about style points, and I think that's the most stylish thing we've seen thus far tonight. I mean, unfortunately take themselves out in the equation, but the fact that they were able to get the catnap onto the train, that's a great highlight, or a low light, whatever way you want to look at it. In the meantime, though, Team Rakattack, they're playing musical chairs a bit with their tank. Now we're going to see Sean go for that Ryan v Ryan matchup, so what we've been asking for at the very beginning, it's coming through. The aggression will be coming through from both sides as well. For
honor, for glory, for the Crusaders, we'll see which one gets the better of it. Riptide's riding the aura right now. He's feeling it right now, and that's all what Reinhardt play is all about. It's all about the momentum, it's all about the confidence, and it's all about getting in your opponent's head. But these two Reinhardt's gonna bonk their little heads up against each other. Sean gonna get a nano, press the line of scrimmage forward, and Team Joystick gonna respect it, back up, give some ground, and snap back like a rubber band with the ults on deck to be able to win this fight. If Team Rakattack don't come through with a plan, and I don't see a whole lot of options for them, maybe playing for the Deadeye, the Bola shot, one of those two options, but right now, not on deck. Faye on a sliver of HP is going to get topped right back up and waiting for the opportunity to present itself as both Ryans just in a hammer swinging contest over here on the point. Not a whole lot has happened outside of that, but Joystick up in the sky with a Sundering Blade crashes back down to earth, and Sean felt the full weight of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just taking the time, waiting for that play to come through, and Joystick, this is why they're one of the best Vendetta players probably in the world at this point. It's pretty crazy to see how these traders can still play at the highest level. And I was really worried about just a swap, honestly, for Team Rakattack. You know, they've stalled out. They had a really great first point. They've continued to play musical chairs with that tank. And in the past, that might not matter as much. But now, the fact that you don't have perks, you know, right off the bat, you're just going to be at a disadvantage. We're going to see how Team Joystick can do with this listen to see if they can close it out here.
Shatter.
Shatter.
No, oh, I didn't do that.
Oh no. Wait.
Cut her on
Wait.
the...
I'm backing up.
Fair one.
Fast enough.
No, I went for the trade.
Oh, can you guys look so get touch?
Come on, Bastion.
Maybe.
Come back
Fiber
in,
left.
buddy.
I'll bash it.
Soon
Nice
I
bash it.
retake.
Oh, wait, I have ult. No, no.
Gotta say, it's not inspiring when you go in for a listen and the first thing you hear is "oh no," and you can definitely tell that for Team Joystick, that is the feeling. That's how it is right now. Sune Rush coming out, but Joystick didn't get the memo. Got caught out by Phaedron there. Good kill coming through from the side of Team Rakattack to try and get this cart going the rest of the way, and a good charge as well coming out from Sean. He's gonna find 2 off the back of that, and this should be the point B cap coming through for Team Rakattack, as there's no one left to stop them.
It was a great defensive hold, though. I mean, you got to think about how much time Team Rakattack had going into that second point. Now they're down to only 2 minutes. It was a great defensive positioning. I think they, for the most part, really recycled their ults well, or cycled their ult bank well, I should say. Now, it's all kind of in the driver's seat for Team Rakattack. They still have the Billow Shot. They still have Jetpack Cat ultimate as well. And they are rounding that first corner. Because of how much space Team Joystick lost, they really don't have a lot of chances to answer on this. It's really one fight territory. If they lose this, they're going to get staggered really badly, and you can see the Bionade went onto their tank.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having that Ana in position, especially a well-practiced one. Yoji is going to fall, though. Joystick able to take down Phaedron, but got caught with the Bola shot there, and Sean is there with the follow-up damage, so Team Joystick still able to come out ahead in this fight. Riptide cleaning up Sean, and as we got everybody back on deck, Freebird and Riptide gonna be nice and topped up, and Team Rakattack will have to give it another go. Only 1:17 left in the time bank to make it stick.
I don't think I've ever seen a Billow Shot from that close. I don't even know. Does that hurt the Freya? Like, do they take splash damage from that?
I think she does, but it's all like that's the kind of thing that you do only when you're panicking, and against the Vendetta, you don't really get much choice. Like, it just kind of happens that way. Big nade coming out from Rakattack, taking down Firebird, and no one there to stop the damage coming through. Now Riptide falls. A nice Deadeye to take down Adel as well. Joystick again, though, gets his pound of flesh, able to go in and take down 2 squishy targets, and has a third in his sights. Booped away by the Jetpack Cat. Yoji doing all he can to keep the rest of his team alive. There's only 3 members of Team Rakattack still pushing the cart forward, and Joystick again, access onto the flank, looking to try and find an opportunity. Rakattack not going to give it to him.
You can see now that Team Joystick, Adil has also gone to the Honor, so they now have a biotic nades of their own. I feel like that anti-nade has been really effective for Team Rakattack to be able to push up, take space. There is no Kiriko on either side either, but we're going to see the Nano come out.
Yeah, Nano Cat onto Yoji, going in, taking down Firebird, gets slept, and taking a nice little cat nap and not the ultimate, and oh no, Riptide! That is gross. That is... It's a vibes-based match, but that's a real vibe killer right there. A charge onto a sleeping cat, and that's going to be Team Joystick able to find the win. Quick play rules means they don't got to take a chance on the attack. They get it done on D.
You know, I saw something from Infected. He actually like responded to himself from 2023, and he basically said, if you use the nano confirm, you're a bot. There, I'm wondering, like, was that on purpose? Was it on accident? You know, Jetpack Cat's kind of flying around at all times, so they might just get into your like vision right as you're trying to throw the nano onto someone. I'm not really sure. It was a decision that unfortunately did not pay off for Team Rakattack. Team Joystick, they do hold on until the very end. They will take that first map. And we are keeping track. Even though the rosters will continue to change, we'll be keeping track of who wins at the top of the screen. So that's a 1-0 start for them, even though they had, you know, not the best beginning to this map, the very quick take. And they bounced back, had a really great second point defense, and even though the ult bank wasn't as good for them going to third point, they still managed to hold on. I think Joystick has to get a lot of credit, just being an absolute menace in the backline with this Vendetta.
Yeah, they're more of a point B kind of team, you know? Point A, it's not their style, it's not their jam, but once it goes to point B, and Joystick gets access to some of these more narrow corridors, more of these flank angles, and Team Rakattack have no choice but to kind of walk up, that's where a character like a Vendetta can really shine, and Joystick showing us why. And it takes so long for Team Rakattack to be able to break on through the oppressive regime that Joystick was ruling here on Neon Junction. These streets belong to him, and we'll see where things go from here on out. But, I mean, yeah, like you said, we're keeping score. Joystick getting that tick on the board early on, and Rakattack are gonna have to either, I don't want to say draft better teammates, because, you know, Yoji on that Jetpack Cat, how much better can you get than that? But, you know, maybe, I don't know, play better?
It happens. There is, just to clarify, we're not drafting. This is kind of just like randomly, well, not randomly. There is a science to it. Actually, Yoji and Cartman, our community managers, have put together a sheet, has everyone's, you know, rank, everything like that, and then they basically calculate the most even teams they can find within a round. Also, keeping tabs on who's already played, who hasn't already played. So the idea is that these games should be pretty close, and I think we're seeing there. You know, this was a close game. It did go all the way to third point. Was almost a full cap from Team Rakattack. So just I think like meters, honestly, from getting to the end. So very, very close. Another thing I want to mention, Ash, is we are going to try to get those comp settings in, so we should see longer games going forward. I know there was some discussion about quick play just to try to get everyone to play. We'll see what that ends up being. You know, that's out of my hands at this point. I'm here on the broadcast, so I'm not getting too involved with all of that, but we will keep you updated on that.
Jag, the most powerful tool in the world is a microphone, and you've got it right now. You can demand it, and you know you can get the community riled up. You can demand the comp settings if you want, or you can make an imperial decree that it will be quick play from here on out. It's all you. You've got the power.
Yeah, I am talking to them, trying to see what's gonna happen, but we are aware of it, just so we know. Yeah, we're switching it up. All right, so there we go. So first game, gonna be quick play. Just you know, like we said, it's a quick play game just to set the stage. I also know we actually had some people playing for EMEA in that last lobby. Tried to get them in early, just you know, because it is pretty late there. You know, if you're in the UK, I think it's around 11 o'clock right now, 11:30. If you're playing in Western Europe, it's midnight. I know also there are some other events from the World Cup teams. Germany put on another event today. They're raising money for their boot camp. For those who might be there from that, hope the event went well. We had a lot of friends there who took part in it. I know Twin Salty, Tiny Shiny among some. Bullskunk was co-streaming it in English. So you know, there's a lot of World Cup stuff going on right now. It's been a very long day. I know you were casting a rival esport earlier on. That was the pun I was thinking of that I told you about earlier. So we, you know, we've all had some pretty full Saturdays already, but we are going to try to switch into comp settings going forward, which I think will be fun because, well, quick play is great, and you know, we got to see still a lot of action. It's really interesting to see how teams play differently. You know, when you're playing only one side of the coin, you might play a different comp, you know, a completely different angle. I know, like, for myself, I'm a Zenyatta main. I really like playing him on attack because there's a lot less pressure of being run into on, like, a hybrid or escort mode. But on defense, oh no. Like, they're going to be diving me at all points. So I'm trying to avoid the Zenyatta.
Depending on the map, I like playing Zen on the defense because you get to set up the angles. Like, I'm all about, like, you know, I'm all about the nerd angles. You know, I want people to nerd react to the plays that I make, and when I find just a nice little crack where they can't see me, they don't notice me, but I'm just about to fire that volley, just 5 orb someone, and before they can ever react, that's like, oh, that's like drugs to me. That's a drug. Like, inject that feeling straight into my veins. That's why I love playing my boy. Sadly, don't see a whole lot of the monk these days. He's not the most popular support anymore.
I'm really showing my age here, but I'm thinking back to Overwatch League Season 1, like, he was a must-pick, the Zenyatta Mercy backline. I mean, Jonak with the skin. I think that was a big inspiration for me when I started playing him, you know, just being able to snipe people, being like, you know, your support, you heal, of course, but being able to do a lot of damage, too. And, you know, we've seen a lot of new supports like that. Ilyari, I think, is the biggest one, you know, has a lot of high DPS potential. Mizuki, not as much, but can still, you know, make a difference with the fact that he kind of has that bleed effect. You know, it's damage over time, not just, you know, that one shot. And also you can bounce it off the wall, which is really cool. So I love that style of support play. We'll see. You know, we didn't see it a lot in that first map. We saw a lot of Ana. I think we saw some Brig, Jetpack Cat. So not the most DPS-y supports, but maybe we'll see more of that going into map 2.
Remember when the discourse used to be that, like, Discord Orb was like the most overpowered thing in the game? Everyone was pushing for that. Actually, remember when it was? Remember when it used to do? I think it's I haven't checked the actual numbers. I think it's like 20% now, but it used to be like 40%, like way back in those days. Like, it was legitimately like you could just delete a Roadhog at will, just like 1 or 2 volleys and he's done, and there ain't a thing he can do about it unless you get into hook range. And if you're, you know, playing at that level, you know better. You're not gonna get hooked. Like, you're just like plinking around a corner, just waiting for him to fall into your trap, like a spider in its web.
I feel like hook nowadays is scarier than it used to be. I think there's like 2 reasons for that. 1, there's one less tank to potentially absorb it, and then 2, I feel like it's not Hook 1.0, but it definitely feels close to it. But enough of us rambling. We're going to be getting into Game 2 very, very soon. So we're going to take a peek at those rosters. I had heard that Infected might be playing. We'll see if that's true. So far, I do not see him in the lobby. I don't want to
There's a few people missing from this lobby.
I mean, yeah, we're getting into it. This is a live view at the lobby. Yeah, it's a roster select happening live in the moment. So we're getting all of Joystick's team in first, then Rakattack's team in after. We're also waiting on that map pick. It will be loser selecting, so it looks like we're going to Para ESO.
By the way, By the way, shout out to Tanner there with the Zeta Division rep. You're a real one for that one. Also, shout out Zeta Division for having a furry mascot for their esports teams. I think more esports orgs need to have furry mascots. All right, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say, furries, they got a lot of cash. They usually work IT jobs. They've got, it's a great way. It's marketable. Make some cash. Get yourself a furry little guy. Sell some. They sell tails at the LAN events.
I wouldn't say Blue is a furry, but definitely an animal. So I'm a big fan of Blue as a local employee myself. I actually have a little guy. Got a little what's the word for it?
Plushie.
Yeah, plushie. That's the word. Thank you. I do have a plushie actually behind me on my shelf, so maybe I'll free him from his jail and show him on cam when we get the opportunity next. I think Zeta Division does a really good job at their branding in general. I really liked the event they put on for Japan. Couldn't go there, but it seemed really, really cool from what everyone's told me. I also actually work with their players in TFT, titled the 2-time world champion there. So yeah, Zeta's pretty cool. And I will also say, obviously, if you wear the USA emblem when we're in lobby, you are my favorite person. So TTG is my favorite person currently, just from what we're seeing right here. But we are seeing the lobbies the lobbies now fully populated. No infected this time around. I did hear he might try to come in for a game, but he is currently in Utrecht for boot camp. Might just want to chill. We're actually going to take a break real quick. So before we get into the next game, we're going to just take a little bit of a moment for a pause, go get some snacks, go get some drinks, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Welcome back, everybody. Just a quick little break if you got your snacks. If you're still in the kitchen and you got the stream on speaker, hurry, quick, get back, because we're going straight into the next map. And as Jag already said before the break, it's going to be Paraiso. And, I gotta level with you. I got another confession. This map needs the Paris treatment.
Not the Paris treatment, like sending it to the back rooms. I don't think it's that bad, honestly.
I'm just like, this is my least favorite map that's active, I think. We take out the 2 CP maps, we take out the Clash maps, Paraiso is like lowest of the low for me. So I don't know who picked this, but they've lost a couple of Cassie points, all right? Not exactly on the same wavelength as me these days, but with the competitive rule set, at least it will be a little bit more interesting. That second point can be a little bit fun when it comes to trying to control the high grounds in the favela. So I don't know, switching things up here. I don't know if this is going to be a good chance for an honorable Reinhardt duel, and I also think if it is, one of the two is going to rage swap. Like, that's just kind of how it goes.
I do have some tea on the map pick. It was actually supposed to be Junkertown. Rak had picked that initially, and then people were not happy with that. Like, his team was not happy with that. So he changed it to Paraiso. So I guess that was the consensus. A leader of the people, right? Leading by example, listening to his teammates.
Bro really said, I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah, so we'll see Paraiso. I mean, I think the third point personally is probably my least favorite, but I like first point, I like second point. I feel like this is also a very unpopular opinion. I actually really like hybrid and escort more than like any other map type. So if I can avoid control or flashpoint, I will at all costs. So even a map like this to me personally is more fun than like
You're a cart slop enjoyer. You're a cart slop enjoyer. You're not.
I am.
You're not hip to. You got to get on the push and flashpoint wave, my guy. It's just it's so much better. All right, we're thriving over here in push and flashpoint world. we've moved on from the past. It's no longer just all about Scrims Row.
Okay, well, I love Scrims Row. I love Blue. Here he is in all his glory. I can't spoil too much, actually. I do know some things about the OWCS stuff, and there's some really cool stuff for Team Liquid's drop when it eventually happens. I'm not going to say any more than that. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want someone messaging me being like, how could
Shout
you?
out the Ferven drop, though. Shout out the latest drop. Like, that's some heat. Like, I've always praised Team Liquid's their merch drops, their collabs. Like, even back in the day doing the collabs with Marvel, like, they were on that wave before anybody, and they're still riding it as good as anybody else out there.
Yeah, there's the Demon Slayer collection that's also been out for a while. There's a lot more that will be coming out this year. There's one I'm really excited for that I also cannot say anything about. But speaking of merch, there might actually be something about that later on for Team USA. I'm not going to say too much more than that, but going into this map, Rakattack going to be moving on to the tank. So we saw both of them play their main role earlier on, but now Rak going to swap onto tank, off support. Joystick, though, still going to be playing the Vendetta.
Rakattack, not just on the tank, but on a very specific tank, on the Wrecking Ball, so a little bit of vibes-based combat, and the vibes are quite high for Team Rakattack, as with the damage boost, Gamer is able to take down 2. Damage-boosted Cassidy, make it a triple kill, why not? And the 4th and 5th, not even going to show up to offer themselves up to the Gamer God himself. Team Rakattack easily get that first tick, and with the Kiriko going to be falling, Suzu already forced. Actually, no falling, and Rakattack getting knocked off the map, nearly using the grapple to get back up. But while all this is happening, the point has been capped, Jag.
This is the thing about playing Wrecking Ball, right? Like, it's just such an annoying character to deal with. It's running around you the entire time. You've got to try to focus it. If you don't, you're making a mistake. If you do, you're making a mistake. And there you see, like, Rakattack just getting so much space for the team. This Cassidy's popping off from Gamer. And still, Joystick, their team is just losing more and more space. So I think you got to find a way to counter. Like, I really like playing Sombra as a counter. A Brig can be okay, but Gamer is just going off, even without the Mercy Pocket, just finding a lot of headshots.
Yeah, like everybody's just chasing Rakattack on the Wrecking Ball, and no one is looking at the threat that lurks right in front of their face. It's a Cassidy just clicking heads, one of the most threatening things in the game, and you're all worried about trying to chase balls like dogs. Like, it's just not working. Like, Gamer has managed to get point A almost single-handedly, and almost all of point B as well. Tanner over on the Sojourn looking to try and take it to GTTV, and Gamer takes Tanner down again. Another headshot, this time with the Mercy Pocket once again, and it's so difficult. It's so oppressive when a Cassidy is playing with this much momentum, and Rakattack utilizing that momentum to swing on into Joystick. Sundering Blade, though, coming out. Team Rakattack evacuating the dance floor, giving a little bit ground, a little bit of respect, and as Joystick goes in with a spin, trying to find a kill. It just doesn't seem to come through, but uh-oh, got a Mercy in his sights, and you can pull the Glock out all you want. Ain't gonna be enough, ain't no saving you from this whooping. Sneef is gonna help clean up Joystick. Gamer on a sliver of HP, and Breach 0 will be having that with a shield bash coming through. Joystick finally getting the defense going.
Finally, but they've given up so much of this second point, and that's the thing about Wrecking Ball. You're chasing it the entire time, like you said. Gamer's just on this off angle, getting all these headshots. Finally, they are able to stabilize. It is a very expensive alt fight, really. Like, Team Joystick, they use what? They use at least the Brigitte ultimates. Maybe not that expensive, actually. They still have the Kitsune Rush. So they're in a great position, I would say, overall. Team Rakattack, they actually use the duplicate. They don't find much with that. And this is going to be the Kitsune Rush coming out from Steve from Rakattack. Are we going to see it? Yeah, it's Kitsune Rushes from both sides.
An early kill onto TTG. Gamer taking down Haxon, though, and not going to be the annihilation that comes out. Joystick on a sliver of HP, but I think Isuzu saved him in Breach 0 with that whip shot, going to save him from Gamer's wrath, so no Deadeye either, and Joystick is just making a meal out of this defense right now. Rakattack on the back foot and another successful hold, and gonna buy them a lot more time to build up to the rest of these ultimates, Jag. That overclock not too far away, and it's a great way to contest the Deadeye.
Yes, it is, and all the while, I mean, Joystick's team, they have been making these adjustments. We saw the swap onto the Brigitte. Like I said, that's like a counter pick, sort of. I mean, you can bash them away, you can flail them away on the Wrecking Ball, so that's kind of more of a, I'm just gonna ignore them and outposition them. We're gonna see trades opening up this fight.
How many kills has Gamer gotten at this point? I gotta know how many final blows it's been, and it's all been off the headshots. Again, taking down Haxon. without your tank there, it's a little bit more difficult to hold the front lines, and without Joystick there, it's a little bit more difficult to rally the troops. You're missing your team captain. Oh, someone help my boy, trying to pop the Deadeye in the middle of the disruptor field. Didn't even need the overclock, just a good old-fashioned orb will do it. Overclock now gonna come out, sniping down Platinum. Potentially a good save now coming out again from Team Joystick. Nice recall from
Tanner.
TTG, but Tanner caught him slipping. Gonna be another kill for him. Rakattack going in with the mines, but the mines going to be disrupted by the disruptor field, and a Sundering Blade to kill Sneep, and that should be another defense coming through.
I feel like Joystick has really been on it with the Sundering Blades. Has it found at least one elimination every single time, and usually at angles you're not expecting. You know, there they actually did it from kind of like behind that bridge, so you can't really find the angle. Even if it's on the ground, you're not really going to be looking for it. So great positioning, great play, and I mean, I'm not surprised considering that they love Vendetta so much, but just overall, you know, we're seeing why this is their favorite character. Joystick really hitting in some highlight plays, and what has been a showing of DPS prowess. I'd say overall both teams have had some really cool moments.
Here's the rage swap from Rak. No more fun in game, swapping over onto the Zarya to try and counter out the Ramatra, but ain't gonna be good enough. Gamer falls on the Ingress there, Rakattack and Platinum also falling as well, and off the back of that rally coming out from Breach Zero, like it wasn't even an attack that came out from Rakattack, and this starts to feel a little bit like Neon Junction as well, where Rak is able to get his team easily through point A, but point B proves to be a problem.
Exactly. We're going to see if Team Rakattack can bounce back with a listen in right now.
We're really running the gambit of discouraging things to hear on listen-ins. We went from oh no to
like that.
I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that.
There was a pulse bomb in there too at the very beginning from TTG. Just unfortunately, I feel like pulse bomb is one of those ultimates that unless you hit a squishy of it, it's really not that valuable. Tanks just sustain through it pretty easily nowadays, especially with all the healing you can get. Even also they can just get Suzu'd away from it potentially. But yeah, that ultimate not going to work out. Neither is this push. This is last fight. They don't have two of their members. They are going to be able to use the Kitsune Rush, but running in right now to the Sojourn ultimate, I don't think that's going to be long for this world.
TTG able to take him down, though. Sundering Blade from Joystick might put the exclamation mark on this defense. Carved TTG in twain. Graviton Surge from Rakattack off the point, but he has to give his life for the cause, and he's gonna have to give up on the cause now, as that's as far as the cart will go. Another good defense from Joystick. Again, more of a point B kind of team.
Absolutely. I mean, on the last map, they do give up point B eventually, but I mean, here it's very impressive that they were able to hold on to this kind of bridge, because they gave up so much space initially. It wasn't just the point A cap. It was like they were chasing Rakattack on the wrecking ball the entire time. As we talked about, Gamer, you know, is getting that mercy pocket, hitting headshots left, right, and center. And they give up so much room. They give up so much of the point, and yet they hold in the perfect defensive positioning, I would say, on that point. They have the high ground. They're able to kind of stop this wrecking ball push. Eventually, they make some swaps like the Brigitte to counter that dive style. And Team Rakattack, they just don't adjust quick enough. The Zarya pick, I did like it. I think Zarya can play really well into Ramatra, but a little bit too late, unfortunately. I do think we're going to see a pause momentarily, as we did see a disconnect. But Team Rakattack, they have a lot to work on their attack, but this is going to be their first chance on defense, which I think is the big thing, right? Like, this is going to be their first time to actually be able to try to hold the map themselves, because they didn't get that chance on Neon Junction with the quick play settings.
Well, call us Zeta Division fans the way we're looking at the pause right now, and we're gonna look at the replay as a gamer. It was flashy, it was gross, it was disgusting, it was awesome. Some incredible Cassidy plays coming out from Team Rakattack, but you know, once it stalled out, we briefly saw the scoreboard there, the KD 14-7 right now for gamer. Very impressive stuff, but it wasn't quite as flashy. Joystick on 16-3, a little bit just kind of like outshining him a little bit there, you know? Gamer, once it stalls out, the momentum just never goes back in Team Rakattack's favor. And again, the Sundering Blades, like you said, every single time he's finding a kill.
That's really all you need. I think in Overwatch, I was gonna say 1, but I guess it's renamed Overwatch again now. But in 6v6 specifically, you know, you wanted like 2 or 3 kills per an ultimate, but with one less tank in the mix, honestly, 1 kill is all you need to turn a fight. If you're able to get a key target, if you're able to find someone that has an ultimate per se, that's all you need. So it's, you know, I remember like Death Blossom back in the day, like if you didn't get at least 2 people, that was a disappointment. But nowadays, you get 1, you're good to go. As long as you are kind of, you know, initiating that fight and you are the one who has the momentum with it, it's good to go. So we're seeing that those 1 picks from the Sundering Blade, that's all that Team Joystick needs from time to time. And you know, you can see the result because, you know, they've won the first map and they had a pretty good stop on the second map.
Also, you know, a bit of a rare call out here as well. You know, the gameplay has come a long way, like you mentioned, you know, in 6v6, the Death Blossoms, you know, if you didn't get 2 kills, like you said, was a disappointment. But I think the observing has also come a long way, because I remember back in the day, they would do the players so dirty by getting them the camera on them, say, this guy's got a Death Blossom, he's about to pop off, we got to get our eyes on him right now, and then...
And he's dead.
Wet fart doesn't land. Bro's just twisting around and nobody even cares. They just simply choose to ignore the edgy boy.
You know, I got to give a big shout out to our observer team as well while we're talking about them. This is like a lot of the people that you see on the OWCS broadcast, and they are here volunteering their time for this community night. So big shout out to ObsSojourn and all the others that are here helping us out with this.
That's my goat.
And I mean, they've been doing an amazing job so far. The camera work, I especially love the wide shots. I'm a big fan of, you know, just kind of like seeing the map geography.
Yeah, it's so good, and they've gotten so much better at it over the years, and only continue to grow better day by day. But Team Rakattack gonna have to get better if they want to win this one. Gamer again fragging out early on. A nice little 2K for him. Might be able to get a third, but with a D.Va flying in his face, gonna be quite difficult. There's a nice little Domino shield coming out from on high from Rakattack, from the low ground up to the high, and that D.Va from Haxon gonna tuck his tail between his legs, run back to the rest of the team, try and get a little bit of healing, but Rakattack standing their ground for now and able to take Haxon's mech.
And I mentioned before, I felt like they swapped a little bit too late on attack to make a difference, but here they come out with a completely different comp, a completely different playstyle, a lot more poke heavy with the Domina. You can take range with Gamer on the M-Ray. Reaper is a little bit more close up, but they did have that alternate fire ad, so you can still fire from a bit far every like 10 seconds or so, but even so, you still have so much utility in that kit to kind of get away. So I really like what Team Rakattack is doing here. They've completely changed their playstyle. And so far, so good. At least a better defense so far than what Team Joystick was able to put up on their own end for point A.
Be gone. Pushing away that Brigitte there. Rakattack, but the problem just doesn't seem to go away. That Brig is still getting all up in his face. And go ahead and pop the rally and make it even more difficult for Rakattack to claim this high ground. Has the diff. The mech will be taken away though again. It's Platinum that finds the final hit onto that one. The D-mech onto Haxon. So even with that advantage from that rally, it's just not enough for Team Joystick to get themselves through the front doors. Rakattack still hold it, still keeping this threshold on lockdown, and Joystick just doesn't have the angles. He's able to take down TCG and hang on a second. Pesto able to snipe down Gamer, and quickly 3 members of Team Rakattack make it a 4th, all falling, and Team Joystick somehow turning it off the back of 1 kill from Joystick. And now Rakattack, he stands alone, no friends, no teammates, no health left, and point A will go the way of Joystick.
A good hold, all things considered though. Burns more than half the time bank, unfortunately. Just felt like they ran out of gas a little bit there. We saw that Pesto was just on the high ground, free firing. I think people forget Kiriko hurts. I think now that, you know, her sub role's been changed, everyone's like, oh, she's just a high capacity healer. No, she can still duel with the best. But I think we're going to get another listing in right now, so we're going to go to that.
They're all up top.
Alex is here. Oh.
I think we just push car.
Okay, Reaper, okay, Reaper.
Seems all quiet on the Western Front there for Team Joystick, as they don't really have a strong plan here. Tanner went in without one. Sneef takes him down, and again, not the most inspiring listen, I gotta say, from the side of Team Joystick. They're scratching their heads, trying to figure out how are we going to crack this Rakattack defense. Senior Rush coming out from Sneef going to make it so much more difficult for them to do that. They're forced to mirror it. Joystick looking to try and take this duel with Gamer and wins it with a nice, cheeky little cleave there coming out, and a Suzu to save his life, get him back out, and finally this cart can get rolling.
Who needs comms when you can function like a hive mind, right? Like, I mean, also, we got to think about some of these players don't necessarily have the same competitive experience. I mean, I know that even though I played at a pro level, I've played, on collegiate teams, so comm structure is very important there. There might be some more quick play warriors out there like I've become, maybe just people that play comp. But there you can see they execute really well. We saw the Swift set from Pesto onto Joystick to save them, so the camaraderie, the synergy is there eventually.
Tanner with that overclock, able to take down Rakattack, and the golden box of victory only inches away. Team Joystick may have found exactly what they need, and a nice little 2K from Breach 0, and that'll do it. Joystick getting the second win on the board, and Rakattack, my guy, my boy, my pal, my friend, you got to get something going here, my guy. You're the pride and the bragging rights. They're all going Joystick's way. You can't let the new kid on the block have that.
Do see Gamer though does get play of the game in the background, so I want to give kudos to them. Their performance on this casty definitely gives them that praise. Even though they don't get the map win, you gotta be happy that looking at the KD, honestly, even though they ended up not winning, it was a pretty close game. I would say overall, I don't think the where it ended up really tells the full story, because yes, it was a point B hold, but it was just like very dominant at the start for Team Rakattack. Joystick, they did not have the same success on attack immediately, so we did see this back and forth battle, and again, it's a very different type of skill level between players. Some people are champ, some people are silver, and everyone's coming to play together, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah, and who needs comms when you got vibes, and who needs comms when you got hands, and Joystick got hands, all right, and those hands carry a mighty big sword, and you better watch out for that sword, because bro is showing like all those hours of practice in ranked grinding this hero. It's all coming to bear right now.
Tanner also though had some really great moments on the Sojourn. I think the biggest thing is when they were able to stop the Deadeye from coming through. That ended up being a res burn from Platinum as well. So I can imagine there's a lot of pressure when you're playing against a content creator of this skill level, having to be their DPS duo, but still holding your own.
You know what I think Rakattack needs to do? I think we got to call in reinforcements. Infected, if he's still lurking around, call him up, make the call, phone a friend, get your win back, even if it's under dubious circumstances. Joystick's still playing his main. Rakattack swapped off and went tank, and did get rolled here on this map a little bit, felt pretty high and mighty early on, but humbled by Joystick on the Vendetta, so bring in Infected, humble him right back, why not?
I have heard that I do believe we might be seeing Infected in this third map. I believe he was supposed to be in the last one. He might have been away from his PC when they were getting the lobby together. They might have, the community managers, they're dealing with so much. They got to manage the lobby. They got to communicate with our broadcast team. There's a lot going on for them, so they might have lost track of it. They're also, choosing.
I thought you were going to say they're supposed to manage Infected too, and they lost track of him. They're like,
he's just somewhere. I don't know where, but he's
bro,
somewhere.
Someone got to put
now.
an air tag on our players, because they just be walking around, we losing them. Like, where did Infected go? He's supposed to be here. Come on, man.
I'm trying to think of I actually had any experience like that in Sweden when I worked with the team directly. No, I mean, usually they're Danny, the assistant coach, he's also the team manager. He does a great job of making sure the guys are where they need to be at all times. So yeah, I can't really think of anything like that, but I'm sure there's a story of some pro player just kind of walking off into the sunset during a LAN event. But we're going to take a little break. We're not going to the sunset quite yet. We are going to take a quick break before that next game happens. Joystick is up 2-0. Will Rakattack be able to bounce back? We'll find out soon.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm CeeBee, joined by Jag, and Jag is joined by Blue, and we are back with more community night action. Map number 3 has been decided, and we're going for a USA home field advantage here, taking it back to good old Route 66.
Yeah, I love the intro video, by the way, that was done by Vengeance, and you saw it at the very beginning. I was thinking, who else was it? It was User Intel. Vengeance and User Intel did that back for us at the very beginning when we were doing trials, and it's on this map. We see that intro portion of it, so great to see us here. I'm also super happy because I keep getting payload maps. I don't know if someone heard me or what's going on here.
Cart Slop Enjoyer,
Rise up.
getting his wish.
I am. I will say, actually, though, Route 66 not my personal favorite map. I feel like high ground is such an annoying thing to contest that you have to kind of play like a tank that can reach heights, whether it's a Winston or a D.Va. That's why Dive was so proficient here earlier on in Overwatch's history. I feel like not necessarily the case nowadays. You know, there's a lot of different ways to get to high ground. I want to take the risk and play Life Weaver, just put a pedal down and they can just take the elevator up. So we'll see what these teams do. We've already seen, you know, they're not afraid to kind of play unconventional comps. They're kind of not afraid to switch it up, play what their just preferred heroes are. I don't think we've really seen necessarily like a meta composition by any means yet. Maybe the Jetpack Cat and Cassidy combo was kind of the closest thing we got to that. But so far, it's kind of just been more fun, which is great for something like this, a community night.
Yeah, well, fun, I don't want to say fun's over, but I did hear that in the break, somebody made the call, and Rakattack has finally got back up. He'll have Infected on his team. Someone to show Rakattack how to play tank, hopefully, and maybe with their powers combined, they can finally bring Joystick's vendetta to justice.
From my understanding, this is also a very high elo lobby. I think we've got at least 3 champ players in here. So, you know, these should still be even teams, despite the fact that we have, you know, 2 pro player levels on Team Rakattack. Also the Team Liquid Synergy. I'm really hoping that they win this. You know, please do it for Blue, if not for anyone else. But yeah, I mean, will we see Infected even play tank? That's the question. I know when him and Zura did the community game night that we had last time, they kind of swapped around. Sometimes they would play their main, sometimes they'd play off roles, which is great. You know, give their teammates chances to play the heroes they would normally play, maybe even get some tips, which I think is one of the coolest things about something like this. You know, you get experience, you get the comms with them. You know, they might be able to be like, hey, like if you're playing Wrecking Ball, you should do this instead of that. You know, that even those little moments of coaching, like that's what these moments are for. That's what these events are for. Having these community nights to get you the access with the players, with our content creators. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder to do that when you are playing your main. So yeah, you know, maybe Infected won't play tank, and maybe, you know, could do a little bit of off-rolling, play something else. Bit dirty to play your main in some of these and not swap off wink wink nudge nudge joystick. You know, we got hands on the vendetta. We know, we've seen it. You're undisputed king of La Lupa. What else you got? You know, let's teach somebody else how to play vendetta. Let's get a coaching session going from Joystick's side. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, why not? Honestly, like, I mean, I'll talk to Joystick after this. Hey, would you want to do just like a coaching session? I think that would be a really cool community activation potentially in the future. I was looking also at his Twitter, and I think like his pinned tweet is a cameo from the Vendetta voice actor, which was really cool. So, you know, he's all in on the Vendetta. I don't know if we could pay him enough to swap off. Yeah, no, I don't know if it's happening. We are going to see Infected on Jetpack Cat, at least to start. You know, this is just in spawn, but I think roles would be locked at this point. So I think he's playing support regardless. Rakattack going to be on that tank. I'm very curious to see what those comms are going to sound like. You know, is Infected basically just be like, hey, like, do this, do that, do this on tank. You know, you're doing it wrong, or vice versa. Is Rakattack going to be like, hey,
bro, just backseat gaming the tank the whole time?
Each other. No, they're literally just backseat gaming each other the entire time. We will, yeah, we're going to get a listen at some point. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we can even do one early on. We'll see what our project. We're going to do it right now. Why not?
Bro, like a paratrooper just dropped into the jungles of Vietnam and just left for dead out there. Someone help my boy Rakattack. He is deep behind enemy lines and can't seem to find his way out and feeling all the pressure. Redacted is going to be able to find a kill on the other side. Infected will be there, so finally reinforcements show up, but my guy is still nestled in way too deep and no real way out back to safety.
They were just laughing the entire time, like they are having fun with this. Ooh. Infected barely getting out by the skin of his teeth. They're flying away. You can tell, like, this is good vibes, and that might be what they need. They are going to be able to get a pick onto Anarchy to start things off. But can the good vibes keep going here on this attack? They have not gotten a lot of cart progress.
And I do also kind of attribute some of that to the fact that somebody said I haven't slept for 36 hours to kick off that listen-in, so Team Rakattack a little bit low on sleep as well. Redacted will be taking a dirt nap, though, courtesy of Slater Moon on the M-Ray. And, oh, there's Rakattack. Big boy hog jump scare. Nice hook onto Oshawott, but the healing is good and the bubble is better, so not going to be able to clean up that Winston. A good old-fashioned dive versus Roadhog looking like your quick play games, and much like your quick play games, that monkey goes in deep but gets everything he wants, taking down Dixie, and with the Primal Rage disrupting Team Rakattack, and ain't a whole lot that Rak can do about this one.
It does get a pick on the Anarchy, but it's immediately traded by Slater Moon on the M-Ray, and that's going to be the whole hog. They're going to be actually the flying whole hog, but it does not matter because, again, the Sundered Blade from above, from Joystick, is going to stop that progress. It's going to stop the cart from being capped, just like that. It's gonna be a hold
down.
Oh my lord, Cartman, why? I was gonna say there, I feel like, you know, the hooks from Rak have been good, but it's always on the tank, which is like the target you want the least, because you're not gonna get that one shot. Instead, they're gonna move back to the Sigma, so we'll see if that helps. Team Rakattack still has 3 ultimates to work with here. Joystick as well. We're gonna see the Wu Ying one come out first.
Yeah, it's gonna be to help live through that rocket barrage from Redacted, and Slater Moon again putting Redacted down. So Rakattack coming into this one now down a man, and with the Kitsune Rush exchanges as well, still like not getting a whole lot for it. Maybe with the catnap we can finally get something. I think does have Joystick, and Infected just saying, please somebody, I didn't want this one, I want to throw it back. Cut the line, cut the line.
Think about catnap, right? Like you get like one of these mobile champions like a Vendetta, she's just gonna dash right out.
Well, get a quick little replay on that one. That Sundering Blade up in the sky, taking down. Yeah, this is the noob's down play. The Roadhog and the cat in mid-air, brought back down to earth, crashing down. And Rakattack playing a little bit of Mystery Heroes now. Didn't get it done on the Sigma. Maybe the Diva will be the secret sauce. Maybe this is the one. Surely it's gonna have to be this one, as there's only 4 seconds left. Dixie is able to find a huge pick off there onto Katarina, and Infected getting in that kill feed as well, taking down Slater. 2-for-1 trade, and the third now coming through. Team Rakattack should be able to get this one through, but Joystick still hasn't been brought down. Finally, Infected gets him. That'll be point A cap for Rakattack.
I think the play for Infected is just, hey, if someone's ulting, I'm gonna pick them up and put them into the sky. I feel like that can be a little bit different though, because when the jetpack hat has you, you know, it's not the same kind of like aim that you normally have. You're kind of like fluttering there, like the physics are kind of crazy. But regardless, Dixie gets it done. Great Sojourn ultimate, and I really like this swap onto the Diva. I was saying earlier, like, there's so much high ground to contest, it can be really difficult. I think the idea of the jetpack hat, they are just able to maneuver, but now they can do it on their own, don't need to use that jetpack hat ability, can focus on maybe getting DPS into those spots instead. And now Team Rakattack has a little bit of momentum for the first time this map.
Slater Moon, though, the override protocol, and as Oshawott taken down Redacted, gonna have full control over the high ground, but doesn't even need the ultimate, as he'll be able to augment this fight in the neutral. Joystick trading his life to take down Tiger, and gonna be good enough. Rakattack gets the one, but you need so much more than that, and waiting for your supports to be back online. Gonna give Joystick time to get back into the fray, give Joystick's team time to build up to just about all 5 ultimates, and yeah, it's looking a little bit rough here for Rak. He's gonna go in and try and pressure back the Winston up on the high ground, but getting all the healing from the Wu Yang, even getting the Tidal Blast as well, as Joystick and Oshawott both going in off the dives. Dixie is felled again. Override protocol raining in hellfire from above, but back down on terra firma. Joystick still reigns supreme, and Rakattack will be finding their way back to the spawn with a one-way ticket.
We're pretty happy with that, though. No, because Team Joystick, they had 5 ultimates, like you said. They've used 3 of them, and they really only had to use, I'd say, 1 or 2.
I don't know how happy about it you can be when Rak's getting staggered. Oh, good kidnap from Infected, though. And Joystick stuck dangling off a cliff, and Infected will let him go.
That's the go button, because there's no Sundered Blade online right now because your Vendetta's coming back from spawn. You got to push the momentum. You got to push the tempo. You got to be careful of Redacted, though. They're going to jump in, and unfortunately, they will perish, but they get the tank, so Winston down. So yeah, I think that's the best play you can make there. An early ultimate from Infected that gives them a little bit of space, and they do have an ult bank advantage. They cannot be scared, though, to not hit Q. I think the one you might be waiting on is the self-destruct. You might just want to save that for a remech if you're too low. They're going to... It's actually going to be on the other side of the Kitsune Rush. You have a Kitsune Rush of your own. How long are they going to hold it for?
Well, not long, or too long, rather, for Dixie to be able to benefit from it. Rakattack able to take one down with that self-destruct, but again, the Sundered Blade from Joystick, cleaving Tiger and Twain, and no Kitsune Rush coming out from the side of Team Rakattack, so no more ults coming online, no more chances, no more opportunities. You got to find these kills here and now, but all they are finding is, once again, that one-way ticket out of here is Joystick. How many times we got to say it? Point B, it seems like they're going to hold.
Yeah, and this was a much better point A defense as well. They burned a lot of time off the clock, so coming into this, Team Rakattack did not have the same time bank they had previously. And they had ultimates to burn, like you said. I think that was just maybe... You're seeing here, you know, some of the discombobulation that can happen in a Pugs match, really of any skill level, regardless if pro players or not are on these teams. You saw them, they threw the self-destruct. I would have kept it as kind of more of a safety net. Instead, I would have gone in for the Kitsune Rush. If you Kitsune Rush second, you get it, you know, you have it longer. It's going to last after your the other team's end. So, you know, you see them use it, you wait a few seconds and use it on your own team. Just an unfortunate kind of, I would say, combination of ultimates being used there in the wrong combination. And that's going to be a point B hold, like you said, the second one that we've seen from Team Joystick.
And Joystick is really just putting on a clinic. Again, you know, more of a point B player. Once the flank routes start to open up a little bit more, the Vendetta becomes even more of a threat. And the high grounds on point B on Route 66 are just so oppressive that, like, with the Winston dives coming through and everybody's trying to look at Oshawott, they're not looking at the Vendetta. And that's it's a fatal mistake. Potentially the last one that you will ever make. Infected, again, with the catnaps. Beautiful stuff, just taking Joystick for a ride. A one-way trip down to the bottom of the cavern, but ain't enough to slow down the momentum that Team Joystick is riding right now.
No, not at all, but Team Rakattack, they will have a chance to do something here on defense. Again, they're making swaps. So again, I really like this. They're adjusting. They are going to do Cat Bastion, so this is the first time we've seen it all night. Will this be the difference maker? And Redacted already picked right off the bat. Like I said, Kiriko, she's still dangerous. You've got to look out for those headshots.
Yeah, they hurt. You never see them coming until it's too late. The body shot's also doing a fair bit of work, because now you've lost your Ana, and well, this Cat Bastion is going to have to come up huge, but I don't know if Infected is steering Dixie in the right direction, having to backpedal a fair bit away from the danger, because Joystick is... they are the danger right now. They're keeping this one going. Getting around that first corner there. A nice, it's not a dogfight, but a cat fight in the air. Might as well be a dogfight. And Anarchy gonna beat out Infected in this exchange.
Yeah, and already Team Rakattack, they've given up so much space on this defense. They've got Big Earl still, and they've got the AC 130 from above, and at least one pick so far.
Later, the Joystick's gonna trade it out. Again, the Ana felled from Team Rakattack, so the cat the only source of healing that Rakattack's gotten. Infected, not keen to heal much more than the Bastion. Joystick saying, come down from there, goes in with the Whirling Blade and can't cut them down this time around. And Dixie keeping the pressure going, the AC 130, and now dropped tactically into the back line for safekeeping. But Infected falls, and Dixie said, where's my cat? Where's my healing? Where's my supports? Where have they gone? The Ana coming back, Tiger able to take down Katarina, and hopefully trying to keep Rakattack in this one, but he's walled himself in all alone. No mega health pack. Bro put himself in the locker, and Oshawott slammed the door.
And I think, like, lost in all of this madness from the DPS is that Oshawott has been playing really well on this Winston. Is putting so much pressure on the backline, particularly on the Ana from Team Rakattack.
Oh, cat
they clearly don't have great sight lines. You know, like you said, there's only the jetpack cat for healing, and they're already on the Bastion. So, like, this Winston play has been phenomenal.
Another catnap coming through from Anarchy. Oh, grab the Bastion. That's a dangerous proposition there, but Joystick will help bail him out of a dangerous situation with another kill onto the Bastion here. And the cart rolling quite slowly, but let's go into a listen and see what the game plan is.
Got one.
Get damaged. I could jump in 2 seconds.
Soj,
I'm on Ana. I'm on Soj. I'm on Soj stolen.
Ana's half bottom.
That's it.
I got her.
I can go high. Bastion 1 high ground. Dead.
I'm jumping Rak. 3 cards.
Just a touch, I think.
I could jump on it in 2 seconds.
There's a cat out left. Cat out left. Cat half.
Bro said, I'm juggling Rak. Like, he knows. He's in Rakattack's head. He's like, all right, content creator, I got you. Infected with another catnap, taking down Katarina, and there might be a chance for... Never mind. Nope, no chance for Team Rakattack. C9 and Team Joystick with the 3rd win in a row in dubious fashion.
I also want to point out that we also had to listen in last map, and that was live. That wasn't like an error. Like that was just them being silent. Here we're actually hearing a lot more noise from Team Joystick, but despite the difference in levels of communication, it's the same result: a point behold, and then a win, a pretty dominant win here. I would say, actually, probably the most dominant win thus far of the series, and what, like as you said, has been a 3-0. But this was the least back and forth. It really seems like Team Joystick, they knew what they wanted to do, and then they just executed on it perfectly. Usually, you know, playing around a vendetta, I think that actually kind of helps you in some ways. You know that Joystick wants to play that character, so you just want to play heroes around them that help enable that play style. They're playing very quick, they're playing very fast, they're playing somewhat ranged heroes, I would say, you know, in terms of like making sure that they're able to get some healing as well as stay away from something like a Cat Bastion, and it's doing wonders for them. They have not dropped a single map.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, you know, Infected came in on the Jetpack Cat, and you know, Team Joystick, they don't care if he's on tanker, if he's on support, if he's here to play, if he's here to troll, whatever. The comms were like, all right, we're trying this map, all right? It is a little bit poor form to try hard in pugs, but hey, you know, you still get the wins, and there's a lot of glory, a lot of pride, and a lot of bragging rights on the line, and Joystick's got all that in spades right now, 3-0, and even call it Infected, doesn't matter. Bring in the reinforcements, he can get it too.
I mean, I played in the pugs. I can't remember if I mentioned this actually when we were on air or not, but I played in the Zera versus Infected ones, and I got smoked. I got destroyed. Like, I'm not like the best player in the world. I'm masters at best. It's really difficult to play against, you know, some of the players that we have when they're at this high of a level. And I think you want to show up and you want to show out when you get the chance. And I think we're seeing Team Joystick, they are taking it very seriously. You know, they want those bragging rights. They want that win. And yeah, I think at this point, depending on how many maps we play, at the very least, they'll draw. I think we might only get 5 maps because of we're already, you know, an hour and 20 minutes into this. We might only have time for 2 more, maybe 3 more if we're lucky. But they're playing for the win, and thus far, they are getting it every single time.
I'm hoping Rak ties it up just so we get, like, you know, a little bit of... We don't want it to be like too one-sided, right? Like, imagine, like, you know, Joystick if he shows up at like EWC or at in Busan and just like sees Rakattack there as well, you know, both just hanging out in the content creator booth, and Joystick's big fat grin on his face the whole time. He's like, I 6-0'd this guy. I rolled this pro player.
It's all love at the end of the day, though. I mean, I think actually this is the first time that Rakattack and Joystick have really been able to play together like this. From my understanding, you know, they didn't know each other very well, and we've got this really great group of content creators beyond just them. Obviously, these 2 guys are really awesome, but we've got Aspen, we've got Apply, we've got Crystal Rain, just to name a few. Avast, you know, there's many names that are on that list. So we're really looking to have content creators that not only this skill, but also like want to be this involved with the community. So you know, I think they'll be having a little bit of laughs between each other regardless of how the score ends up. But this is just an awesome event that I'm really glad they were able to be a part of.
Yeah, but take all those creators, line them up one by one, and Joystick's gonna knock them down. All right, Rakattack, done. Infected and Rakattack at the same time,
next?
Done. Who's next? You know, give me a Vast, get him out of retirement and get him in the game so that Joystick can take it to him. Let's go.
Oh, I'll have to talk to Connor and see if that's possible. That'd actually be really fun. We'll see if he can play more maps here than he did in Overwatch League. I feel bad saying that, but
we need Team Joystick versus Team Avast, and if Joystick wins, he becomes the permanent, like the reigning, defending, undisputed Chuck E. Cheese chat of the match.
I saw that Great Britain, they did the 1v1 tournament. We had a lot of World Cup stuff today. Wow, a lot of World Cup stuff. I think Denmark also did the community night last night, so this is a great weekend, I guess, to do stuff for World Cup teams, which is awesome. But they had that. Maybe we do that. Maybe we get a content creator 1v1 and see if Joystick can take everyone out on the Vendetta. But I do believe we have the next map ready to go, or at least we know what the next map is. So we're going to be taking a look at that in just a moment. But it is Brunasapi, so finally, no more cart slop. CeeBee, your prayers have been answered.
Yes, now we get to go to my favorite thing, push slop. I love it. I love it. Finally, we get to see it. We're free of cart slop jail, and I'm excited just for that little change of pace. But I'm also excited, like you said, with all the World Cup stuff that's going on. All the teams, getting their communities active, getting a little bit of support, keeping the energy high as everybody has got their sights set on Busan. We did the group draw recently. Everybody knows, who they're playing up against. We're going to spark a couple of rivalries. It's good stuff. You mentioned the Germany stuff earlier on, and I'll also say, I was reached out to be a part of that Team Germany stuff, and I wish I could have done both in one day because that looked like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I was casting the other esport earlier on today, the other hero shooter. Yeah, boo, throw tomatoes at me, whatever. I gotta stay employed. All right, I gotta have a job.
Fair enough. Yeah, but I agree. Like, it's really great to see that all the World Cup teams are kind of coming out of hibernation. I think, after the regional stage, there's OWCS and immediately follows it. A lot of the players that qualified are in that. So, they only have so much time in a day. They're people too. We don't want to burn them out too much by asking them to do Team USA stuff all the time. That's what Busan's for. When we're there, we're on the ground, they could not say no to my silly little TikTok ideas. But for now, we're just really rooting them on. For EWC, which is really cool because, for Paris, we've got all of our players qualified, all of our coaches are qualified across several different teams. We got Falcons, Virtus Pro, Dallas Fuel, Space Station, Team Liquid, of course. So it's really great to see all that happening, but also all the other teams also being able to do some really cool stuff. I know for us on the America side, we're going to try to do some other stuff with the other teams that qualified. So talking about Mexico, Canada, Colombia, we're all going to try to kind of pitch in a little bit more together for the more international events, have some more of that regional pride than we had previously. I can't say too much, it's still a work in progress, but we're going to do a lot of cool stuff for socials. What I can talk about though is the rosters for both teams. We do have those locked in. Or just kidding, not yet, but they're coming through.
They're about to be locked in. We've got concepts of rosters locked in. And all right, Team Rakattack is getting filled out here. Team Joystick still lacking 2 members, but those will be coming on through. Here is your lineup for Team Rakattack, and there it goes. It's now obscured by the friends list, and there we go. All right, now take it. Remember it. These are your guys.
I believe so far, still no repeats, which is great. We had so many people sign up for this event. I know things happen, you got Saturday night planes that come up, or life happens, so not everyone can make it, but still a lot of signups, and I'm really glad we're able to get at least everyone in for one game. I think that's the goal. Might have some repeats later on depending on who's sticking around. We still have a lot of people in the Discord. To plug the Discord, please join it. We got the link on our Twitter page. We've got a really cool active community there, so we'd love to have you join. We try to do these every so often.
If you're watching on Twitch right now, there's a link to the Discord as well. Scroll down. Sure. There's a little social media tab there for a Twitter and a Discord. Follow, join the Discord, and maybe you can get in on a game if there's time. There's still I see 32 people in the chat though still, so might have to cop the Disney Fast Pass if you want to get in there.
I don't think that is something that we are selling currently, but maybe in the future. Hey, you want to play in these pugs? That's just going to be 500 credits. Just making a little money under the table.
You're lacking the entrepreneurial spirit here. All right, you got to monetize whimsy, and that way you can keep this gravy train rolling. Get your second or third yacht. I know you're living large out there. I've seen your house. It's massive. It's it's like 40 acres. It's come on, you need to go for 50, 60, 70 acre houses, all right? We got to get this guy some more cash.
Yeah, the Overwatch in-game currency Ponzi scheme is really going to get me there one of these days. So we'll see how that goes, but we're still just waiting on one more player to join Team Joystick. In the meantime, while we have this moment, I know we talked about it a bit before. The players are coming in and out, so it's not always the same team. What do you think Rakattack's team has to do to stop the bleeding? Because we've seen some fight from them, especially the first 2 maps. That last one, though, not really the most combative effort in the end.
I think we just gotta like this is gonna sound so mean, but we gotta like Rak's gotta stop playing tank. I gotta be honest, cause like if this was fair, right? Like if this was like Joystick is also off rolling, then I could see it. But bro's fighting dirty. You gotta also get dirty as well. Play your main. Play something that's strong. Play something that you know you can get the one up on him just for your ego. Like you can't go down 6-0.
Yeah, I agree. You got to take at least one for the road, right? You got to at least get one map win in. And we have to remember also, the only pick that's been Joystick so far was Neon Junction. Everything else since then has been Rakattack's. Even, I mean, maybe if they had played, what was it? I think they were trying to play Junkertown. Maybe if they'd played that instead of Paraiso, maybe that could have been the difference maker. Maybe sometimes you just don't listen to your team. Maybe sometimes it's a dictatorship. You just gotta lead with an iron fist.
Yeah, he's just got to lay down the law, right? Like, no, you guys don't get a vote. This ain't a democracy. It was my one rule. That is law. Maybe if we play... He really hasn't been the same since that Junkertown didn't come through, and instead we went to Paraiso, and that was about as one-sided as it gets. But finally, we're free from cart slop. We get to load into Runasapi, one of my favorite maps in the game, my favorite game mode. I have been a push merchant pretty much since it came out. I've argued with other casters, creators, and members of the community about how good it is. The people don't want to believe me. Most of those people peak gold, and I'll say it, it's a skill issue. It's a skill issue if you don't like push. It's a skill issue if you don't like Flashpoint.
I will say,
realizing I just kind of aimed that right at you because you said how much you really like the payload maps, but
I said Masters earlier, so at least not gold, right? I will say, if it was between push and Flashpoint, I definitely prefer push. I really like kind of how...
It's like a cart.
Yeah, I mean, the push bot is like a cart. That is the exact reasoning I would use. You got a neutral objective that you're fighting over, which makes it a bit different. But I really like the map design and how basically both sides are the same, even though they're not. You know, like the actual like design decisions, I guess, are different, but the geography is basically the same. So everyone's on an even footing, and there's a lot of different ways to play that map geography because of that. I think Runasapi is one of the more interesting ones because, you know, you've got that big high ground like advantage at different points in the map. You know, that the starting point, it dips immediately after on either side. If you go, you know, further enough, you get that first checkpoint. There's a lot of high ground for the defending team. So there's a lot of really cool ways you can play this map in particular. I am still thinking about the World Cup match that we played. I believe it was against Chile where Rak brought out, or not the Rak. Rak was co-streaming it. That's why I keep thinking about it. It was Infected who played the Reinhardt, and that was really fun. So we don't have Infected in this game, but maybe Rakattack. We'll see what he does. He still has not locked his role yet. Will he off-roll again, or will he play a tank? But we're gonna take a quick pause before that, as you can see someone unfortunately disconnected from the lobby. I still, you know, the cool thing about community game night, and also one of the things that can kind of stink is, you know, we're playing with people from not only across the country but across the world. You know, we're trying to find the best server. Sometimes people unfortunately disconnect, but we should get that fixed pretty quickly.
It's wild, like having people from all over the world that are coalescing around like Team USA, but also like, you know, the other teams, like you mentioned, like, you know, Team Great Britain, Team Germany, all these ones doing different community stuff, and getting creators and fans and community members from all over the world, because everyone just loves the World Cup. It's one of the coolest things in esports, and nobody else does it. Like I don't get it. Like, how has nobody else cracked this code yet? Like, you know, just bank on people's national pride and run a tournament like that once a year. It's easy. It prints money, and you know, we finally get it again back here in Overwatch, and maybe eventually some of these other esports will catch wind. But as we've got Extinct back in the lobby, Rakattack back in support jail where he belongs.
Yeah, keep him there. Let's see if this will turn the tide. Not on Lucio, they're going to be on Juno, which interestingly I feel like has become a flex support pick more than anything else. I know we've seen like UV, Landon playing it a lot recently. Depends on the team, but even on like team like we're seeing Kavis play it, so I always saw her more as a main support, but that's going to be a Rhine charge, and it's going to get one.
Yeah, catches onto Mona, but has to trade out. Joystick swapping off of the Vendetta over on the Sojourn, and guess what? Just as deadly on the sticks with the hit scan, taking down Rakattack as well, and yeah, another easy team fight win for Team Joystick, and you know, it doesn't matter what role Rakattack is playing, kind of feels like he's still a step behind.
I like how Silent Storm going on to the Vendetta themselves, probably trying to find that 1v1. It is going to be a Vendetta on the other side, but it's not going to be Joystick who's playing it. So the first time we've seen Joystick swap onto a different character. I mean, I like the Rhine pick here. I think you just have to be a little bit less aggressive. Orisa is kind of a great Rhine counter because she can spin to win. She can just fortify, so she's not able to really even be charged in the first place. Kind of have to just wait for those cooldowns to be out, and then you go for it. But there you see just charges into nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah, PETA, the horse is here. No Name taken down. Silent Storm with a nice little headshot there, and Joystick taking down the Lucio as well. And yeah, this push bot still rolling. TS1 got the Jordans on, and he is sprinting onto the checkpoint there. Gonna have the butt scratch in no time, and Extinct trying to hold up the shield, do all that they can to try and stall it out. And as C4 Oreo gets on the kill feed, he's gonna find himself on the business end of it as well. Terra Surge coming out now from No Name, pressing the advantage while Team Joystick have it, taking down the Lucio once again, has Instinct in their sights and might be able to find this kill. And Team Rakattack doing all they can to avoid it, but in all of that, the bot wasn't being pushed. We got to send someone back to get that thing rolling again.
And I think this is the best timing potentially for Rakattack's team. They have this high ground. You can see that Joystick's team, they're debating, do we keep it, do we give it up? You've got ultimates at your disposal. I mean, you've got at least, okay, well, you don't have your Sojourn, so that will take a bit of a rough tumble, but you can see a lot of ultimates being dumped on either side.
Ooh, the Sanctuary from Jonah invested as well, and that's, yeah, not a whole lot of people caught inside of that Sanctuary. I think 2 kills already came through even before that came up, so Team Rakattack able to get themselves a fight win, get themselves not quite on the board yet, as they're gonna have to get this bot back to a neutral. I guess they are on the board. They've got 2.31 meters, and it's not nothing, but it's not a whole lot, but we'll see what they got in the tank as we're gonna cut to Team Rakattack for comms.
Oh, shatter. Right half. Oh, they beat it, okay. I'm gonna swap to Juno here.
Okay, they used 2
Okay.
ults there.
Yeah. B and Shatter.
Alright, quiet for Team Rakattack, and as we saw from Team Joystick, that's a recipe for success, alright? Sometimes if you want to win, you just gotta shut up.
I think that actually was Team Joystick, because I heard them talking about the sound barrier and the Reinhardt, but we'll see if they make any swaps. In the meantime, though, we're going to see the Sojourn ultimate come out from the side of Team Rakattack. It's going to be, I think Joystick also used theirs. Yes, they both used it, but it's going to be Team Rakattack coming out on top. That's going to be the dead ultimate as well, dodge. So some great plays from Team Rakattack, and I said momentum earlier on. It seems like they finally have it. The center blade of their own going to find some value, and maybe the key to victory here is just that Joystick isn't playing the Vendetta.
Yeah, you just gotta take the guy off of the main, and you're able to get some snowball potential, get the checkpoint as well. So both teams will have access to forward spawns active right now for Team Rakattack, and if they can get this one next fight win, they can maybe take the lead in this one. Terra Surge now got to come out from the horse with no name, and able to take down Weo's Team Rakattack, so the Terra Surge not finding what you really needed. Mona hesitant to pop the sound barrier, knows it's the only tool left in play to keep Team Joystick alive, keep Team Rakattack at bay. As now there's an orbital ray about to come online, says welcome to Glorbit, and No Name is gonna fall. So much damage now coming out from Team Rak, and they will take the lead.
And I think the cruelest thing there was the play from Instinct. I said before to be a little bit more cautious with the Reinhardt charges, but there, they charge into the Terra Surge, like from behind. I'm not sure if they just lost where Instinct was, but they get a great charge kill right off the bat. And even though they had an alt bank disadvantage, they're able to win that one out. The orbital ray comes in a little bit later, but it's still perfect. Mona does have the sound barrier, so maybe that will help turn things around, but they need to use it aggressively. They got to use it soon. I mean, you can already see that No Name is falling pretty low.
Yeah, it's aggressively, but again, like you said, No Name was low, so it's aggressively, but also kind of defensively, maybe passive-aggressively is what I would call that sound barrier. And they're able to get 2 kills off the back of it, make it a third as Extinct falls. C4 Oreo with the overclock in the back line's able to snipe down Jonah to put a stall on this retaliation coming out from Team Joystick, but nevertheless, Joystick will win the fight, get the bot back under their control, and start marching back onto the middle.
Good news, though, for Team Rakattack is they got so much space that even though they will get this bot back in the middle and they will disable the quick spawns, everyone was able to get back pretty quickly regardless. This fight will be basically at neutral, and there's going to be an Earth Shatter online for Instinct if they're looking for the right angle, but everyone's running away from this Reinhardt at the moment.
They know we got it. They're not going to let they don't want to be caught in Earth Shatter. And we'll see what ends up happening as Rakattack able to clean up No Name. The Earth Shatter does come out, and Extinct cleans up Mona, and it's going to be another fight win, even through the orbital ray that comes out from the side of Team Joystick. And The last denizens of Joystick will be dispatched. Instinct gets cleaned up though, so not a great tool for Rakattack to press the advantage, so they'll get the bot back to the checkpoint, but not much farther.
We saw that Jonah on the other side gonna swap now to the Juno, so matching pretty quick, closely across board. Actually, they went for the Kiriko too, so I think that was the swap, excuse me. Mona swapped to the Kiriko. They had the Juno for a while. So they're swapping some things up on Team Joystick, trying to find some advantages, trying to find something late in the game. There's only 3 minutes, and I think if you're Team Rakattack, you're happy with this. Even if you don't get the bot that much further, you have the lead, and as long as you're winning every other fight, keeping the bot kind of in your corner, keeping that spawn advantage, you can win the game just from that, but they're going to try to use Orbital Ray here.
I mean, Rakattack don't even need to win the fights. They just seem to not lose them, but losing Rakattack through the Orbital Ray, not a great way to get this fight going. Is Instinct going to fall as well, and it will be a fight loss for Team Rakattack, and all they can hope to do is bleed out a little bit more of that time, but TS1, again, got the Jordan zone, and he is running on back to that barricade for Joystick.
Talent Storm will come back with the Sundered Blade, though, so we're going to be able to see if that does the trick. We're going to actually go to a listen-in right now before this fight starts.
There's something so satisfying about a Sojourn with just like the tracking going into that rail headshot. It's like, oh, like it's just cathartic.
I'm just really happy about how positive those comms were, but maybe not as confident now that Joystick has been able to get the overclock online and get that headshot right off the bat. And just like that, Team Joystick might have won this fight pretty quickly. And I always wonder for push, like, is it better to contest the bot or just to run away? In this case, looks like Team Rakattack, they're just going to run away, head for the hills, not give up any more ult charge. And that was a quick fight win for Team Joystick, but they don't have any more ultimates to work with going into this next fight. So Team Rakattack might be able to bounce back. I think the big thing here is you want to stop the checkpoint from being unlocked, and they're going to meet them right at the corner to make sure that happens.
Yeah, it's not all about just like winning and losing fights. It's about where the fights happen. And again, yeah, because that would happen so far forward. Again, Rakattack, they don't care. They don't got to win it. They can give that one up. But this one they do need to win, as the bot is getting back to that barricade. And the Orisa shield coming out with a perk there, trying to stop the overclock from finding its mark. Joystick on a nice little flank angle, but Silent Storm taking down Mona. First salvo coming out, nearly had the Ajax there. Terra Surge not going to be enough to secure it, and C4 Oreo getting another good rail shot there onto Joystick, and this should be Team Rakattack again turning the tide in their favor. There's a couple members of Team Joystick that still have some protesting to do. They're not going to be doing a whole lot of it. As No Name falls, Jonah joins him, and Team Rakattack get the bot back. I mean, they snaked it away and already back past the halfway point.
Yeah, that's a huge win for them. Not only do they win that fight slowly, the bot moves after they've already like kind of closed it out, but there's still members alive for Team Joystick, so they get staggered out. Now that checkpoint is going to be unlocked again, so Team Rakattack, they have the early spawns once more. They don't have the ult advantage, it's pretty even, but they do have this high ground at least for now.
Gonna be another orbital ray now coming out from Rakattack. Earth Shatter goes wide, not finding anything. The Sundering Blade, though, does not. It finds its mark, it catches onto Rakattack, and good opening salvo here for Team Joystick. They're able to return fire in glorious fashion here as Joystick taking down C4 Oreo. And again, Joystick win the fight, but only 10 seconds left. We're going to be in overtime, and Team Joystick, they got to run it all the way back.
They do have to run it all the way back, but they have such a nice ult bank to work with. All they use was the Sundered Blade there. They're going to have the Terra Surge, they're going to have the Continue Arrest, the Orbital Ray, and the Overclock at their disposal shortly, and at least 2 of those are already online. We saw that Sundered Blade in the replay. That Earth Shatter, I feel like that was just a zoning ult. You know, it was just to kind of get space, right? That was the plan.
Of course, a zoning shatter. But this Orbital Ray coming out from Jonah is going to do a whole lot more than zoning. It's going to zone a couple of heads off of shoulders, and you can see Extinct holding up the shield, trying to do all they can to stay alive, but too much damage coming out. The shield shatters, and so too does the spirit of Team Rakattack as Team Joystick win this fight, and now past the halfway point, getting back to the barricade. They've done well enough. They might be only one fight away from taking that 4th map win for Oh Captain, My Captain.
Don't call it a comeback, but they are making it regardless, and that was great. Usually 2 support ultimates back-to-back, not great, but they don't use anything else. That's plenty, and they still have plenty to work with now, and that's going to be the Overclock being thrown right in on top of the Terra Surge.
It's a shooting gallery for Joystick, but the shield's so good, but Extinct falls, and you can see the checkpoint right there, inching closer and closer to it, and no Reinhardt to stop it. No Crusaders will be slowing this horse down as No Name trots forward, tosses a spear in. The bot is on the checkpoint, an inch away from taking it, but the sound barrier, frame perfect, pixel perfect coming out from Team Rakattack, but Joystick finding another headshot. Extinct coming back into the fray, finding Weo, but it's all Joystick in the kill feed, and it's all Rakattack in the ground as Joystick goes up 4-0.
That was so close. That came down to the last fight. It really came down to the ultimate banks that were left at the end of the day. Team Joystick, they played on the back foot for so much of that map, but they just used their ult in perfect sequence there. Again, support ults layered on top of each other. Usually not the best case, but when you're in must-win scenario, you must-win fight territory, it works. There they had the Kasunia Rush on top of the Orbital Array. They've got the speed, they've got the healing, and then they used the more offensive ultimates at the very end. Even though the Overclock didn't work as well at the Terror Surge, everyone got away from actually falling at that very moment. They were able to do a lot of chunk damage that was able to be followed up on. Eventually, the tank falls on the side of Team Rakattack, and I feel like losing your tank is kind of a death sentence in 5v5. If you lose 1 in 6v6, not the end of the world, but when you don't have that front line, you don't have that protection, it just becomes so difficult to hold and take space. And there, even though they did have a comeback, that sound barrier was so nice at the very end, it just wasn't enough for them to finally get on the board with a map win.
Well, we've said before just about every map, like, what does Rakattack have to do? You know, before it was calling the reinforcements for Infected, didn't work. Then it was, you know, get him back in support jail. That didn't work either. I mean, at this point, what does Rakattack have to do? I think he's got to, like, pull up his phone, say, hey, Siri, how do I DDoS somebody and get Joystick out of this lobby? Because it doesn't matter if he's on the Sojourn or on the Vendetta, he's a problem.
Yeah, I would say, you know, maybe not as impactful on the Sojourn as the Vendetta, but still definitely a force to be reckoned with. I think the biggest thing is that you're not going to be charging in as a Sojourn onto the backline. I mean, you're seeing here, like, the headshot there that opened up that fight. Vendetta has so much movement speed, even though Sojourn can kind of, like, slide into fights, she's just a little bit squishier. She doesn't have the same kind of escapability when she slides in, even with the double slide perk. So just a different play style, but still very efficient, very effective, and it gets to win at the end of the day. I think the other thing is also you get to see actually someone else play Vendetta on the side of Team Joystick, which is really cool. You know, letting the master kind of, I'm not going to say like the person that played it, I think they're, is it Weu? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. They did a great job in their own right, but being able to play with someone who's also like one of the best in the game at it, that has to be a really cool feeling.
That's what you just did, like my favorite casterism. It's just like, I'm not trying to pronounce that. Some of y'all got weird names. Some of y'all got like keyboard smashes for your usernames. I ain't trying to have all that. Like, give me a team sheet. Give me something. Give me something to go off of. You know, make my job a little bit easier.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes look. If we're saying the hero, it's probably because we don't know how to pronounce her name, and while we might want to guesstimate on it, we also don't want to say it wrong and offend anyone, so apologies there if I was wrong. But overall, still, great DPS play. I've talked about it a lot. The DPS players have been showing up across every single map that we've seen.
I know, and with all the Vendetta that we've seen, I gotta ask, you know, I feel like I want your opinion on this as, like, you know, one of my token straight white friends. How do you feel about the Dominetta ship? Is that one like peak for you, or are you just like, is that something you're not like hip to?
Yeah, I would say I'm with it. I would say I'm with it for sure. I mean, I try not to think too much about a character's attractiveness. This isn't another hero shooter where maybe they focus a lot more on that kind of stuff, but I mean, she's good looking. I can't deny it, but we've got a lot of great looking characters. We've got a lot of great looking just people in the Overwatch scene, and we also got a lot of great looking maps, and I do believe we have our next map ready to go, and I actually think it's what we're looking at right now in the background of our caster cams. It's gonna be King's Row. So you got your reprieve very, very briefly from the cart slop, and yet here it is once again.
You're not dodging this conversation. What's your favorite ship in Overwatch? Which one?
My favorite ship?
Yeah, your favorite ship. What's your favorite ship in Overwatch?
I have not thought about this too much. I guess if I had to say one, D.Va and Bob. I think that's really cute.
D.Va and Bob?
Laura. There's one voice line between Ashe and D.Va, if you have to look it up. And basically, D.Va's like asking for like contact information or something like that. And Ashe is getting pissed off. She's like, "Oh, you're talking about Cassidy?" And she's like, "Ew, no, the guy, the tall guy with the hat. Oh, you mean Bob?" So I think that's a cute little moment. So that's my answer. Omnics have rights too. Omnics deserve love.
You just expanded my domain there. Like I didn't even realize that was a ship that people knew about or were like talking about.
I don't know if it is, but if it wasn't now, it is.
I guess I'm just a little bit. I don't partake as much in the straight spaces, so maybe I just wasn't hit to that one. But Diva and Bob is a wild one. Hey
man,
I was not expecting that answer. I was expecting you to say like. I was expecting like Pharmacy or like Anahart, like one of those ones. Like those are like easy layups, but no, you surprised me. All right, gotta hand it to you.
Overwatch lore, I got it right. I was actually talking about this with someone, not like specifically ships, but I was talking about someone with his interaction earlier today, so it was on top of mind. Okay,
it's just like just fresh at the top of the deck, ready to pull that one out, catch me off guard. I've never even heard of that one. I gotta look that one up. Is there like art of Diva and Bob? Like, is that, or is it just people? I don't know.
It's,
all right,
it's just interaction. I'm not getting that. Like, I haven't thought that deeply about it. All right, well, that's just my answer. I'm sticking with it. All
right,
well, you stood your ground. Really pressing that question.
You stood your ground. I pressed it. You came in with a good answer. All right, Scrims Row is going to be the next map, and I guess for Team Rakattack, if all else fails, bring it back to all reliable.
I mean, we're going to see, I think, for the first time, a repeat now of some people coming back into the lobby. So we have had at least, I believe, everyone played once, which is great. We played 4 games. That's a lot of people. That's like what? I'm trying to do the quick maths, 8, 16, 24, 32 people at least. So great showing. Thanks, everyone, for coming and hanging out with us. But now we are going to see people come back in, get their second chance at glory or maybe some revenge. In Rakattack's case, because he is still looking for that first map win.
It's 5v5. There's 10 people per lobby. It's just multiples of 10. Like
no, but it's 4 because there's 2 that are staying every time, right? Joystick and Rakattack.
It's okay. Well, you just subtract that many.
8 times 4. That's 32. Look, I'm terrible at math, but I feel pretty solid about that.
All right. I'm gonna scroll up and look at the chat. There's 31 people in the voice chat, so you win. You take this one. I would have still gotten there. I just took the long way around. All right, I try to make it easy for myself.
I think if you remember Septilence, my boy, I think one of the things that we always talked about was we're both bad at math, so don't ask. I guess being away from the broadcast booth, I have gotten slightly better at my mathematics. You'd be surprised how many times in social media management you got to do like quick maths and like really think on your feet about like what's going on in the game that you're covering. So it has not failed me, at least in this interaction, but potentially later on I will completely fumble my spaghetti, so we'll see if that happens. But
it's harder. It's harder when there's a camera and a microphone in your face. Like something about that just makes math impossible. Like I don't know how like math teachers were doing it back in the COVID era when they had to teach like this, because I'd be messing that up. I mess it up all the time on broadcast. Caster math ain't reliable. I know girl math, which has gotten me into financial trouble.
Yeah, my wife has taught me about it. I'm very familiar with how it works. I honestly, I'm for it. I'm with it. Sometimes you just got to do things for yourself. Girl math, if you spend a certain amount of money, but you've already dedicated yourself to spending it, then it's basically free, right? That's kind of the name of the game in our eyes, at least. So, we went to the movies recently and we're like, oh, we're going to spend this much. We spent that much. Great. It was free because we already dedicated that amount to it.
For me, girl math is like it's a binary. My bank account is a binary. I either have money or I don't. And if I want something, the question is, do I have money? If yes, I buy it. If no, I don't. And sometimes I don't realize that I don't have money until I've answered yes to that question too many times. And suddenly ice soup until rent's paid.
Well, no ice soup, at least here on this map, but it is going to be icy out because it is actually going to be the winter version of King's Row. So a little holiday cheer in the middle of July, just might be. I feel like we're in Australia right now, like the seasons are flipped or something. But
no,
here we are, and we're gonna look at these team lineups right off the bat, at least for the beginning. So again, we're not going to see. Trying to find, where is Joystick? Joystick is on Brig. All right, so for the first time, we are seeing him not only swap off the Vendetta, but off of DPS. So this might be Rakattack's best chance for his team to finally pick up a win here.
You gotta get one. Just need your one. That's all you need to make sure you don't get shut out. All right, nobody shuts out my goat. Even he's busting out the Weaver as well, so he is going all out on this one. And Joystick on the Brig can't really do a whole lot about it. Gonna have to rely on his team. Hope the luck of the draw was in his favor. But Yoji and Mona, no slouches. As we've already seen both of them, I believe, come up clutch for this team in the past. Mona gonna be taken down by FPS Wolf, and
absolute caster curse.
Taking one down, and yeah, it's a bit of a caster curse as Team Rakattack. They will infest this point and take it over for their own.
I would say Yoshi, like, I know that he really likes playing the winging, so I'm not surprised to see him on that, but we are going to see Team Rakattack kind of go through a really quick attack and just kind of really quick take. I agree. I feel like the Brig kind of struggles in this situation, especially when you have someone like the Life Weaver from Rakattack and just pull people away. Everyone's kind of long range. I would say the least amount of range is Cartman on the segment, just because those rocks only go so far. His primary fire has a set range, but everyone else is pretty unlimited, so you might want to try to find more range of your own. And already you don't have a Sigma, so this fight kind of is over before it ever begins. You're seeing Team Joystick, they're backing all the way back up into their spawn.
Bro, Cartman is fighting for point C right now. Well, it's not even on to point B yet. He's holding the line here. We're gonna cut to another listen in here. We'll see how they're handling this.
I hit my head.
Bro bonked his little head. Poor guy. Rakattack taking down Lexi Lu on the Widow, and Widow's getting caught in a few unfortunate situations, I gotta say. You know, falling off the map and then getting caught in a narrow corridor in a duel with the GOAT. You ain't winning that one, my friend.
And I know that she is someone who's very active in the Dallas Field community. Yoji's also a moderator there, and they do a lot of community events, and they actually sent a low light highlight compilation of Lexi's plays. So unfortunate there that might be one that's added to it, but overall, you know, she's still trying her best, and that's really all we can ask for. Sometimes you just fall off the map, sometimes you hit your head, and sometimes you hit headshots on Rakattack.
Yeah, she's able to get a revenge and has a couple more heads in her sights, but not able to click on him as they're going to respect it. They say she's got the angle. We don't want to challenge that one, not without our Weaver there to help assist, and not without our Cassidy, the only hit scan that can really contest this Widow up on that high ground at all. And Joystick on the Zenyatta. Hey, do you think he's been tuning into the stream? Heard us talking about the Zen earlier on?
Even if he didn't, we're just going to pretend that he did. Zen is the way to go. I don't care that he's probably not the strongest. I mean, if you get your Discorded Orb on the right target and your team can focus fire, it's just a free kill. But already, like, very close to hitting that Transcendence, but they're going to be going into the... Oh my god, that was the Weaving and Ultimate right into the Deadeye, and somehow no one dies from that.
Yeah, it was the accretion that went wide and then a life grip to try and save his life. And Cartman with that Gravitic Flux taking down Phaedron. Now with a headshot now coming through. No Deadeye required as Wolf is able to take down Mona, and Rakattack keeping this pain train rolling, and Joystick can't really do a whole lot about it. That Transcendence, 5% away, but it feels like it's miles away. The cart only inches, though, from a full cap coming through. Somebody's got to do something. It's going to be Joystick on the Transcendence, getting bounced around with the mines, just barely able to come back down onto the point and get the touch. The Dragon Blade from Mona taking down Otto, and it's going to have to be enough, but Wolf still clicking the heads on the Cassidy, takes down Joystick, takes down Mona, tries to find another, but it's going to be Lexi Lu and Phaedron falling, and Rakattack will have this cap with 3:08 to spare.
And all it took was Joystick swapping off of DPS. But yes, Rakattack and his team finally gets a full map completion. You gotta remember, back on Neon Junction. That was the closest they got previously, and they were only meters away from that map winning it out. We had quick play settings, so we wouldn't even had a defense, but fortunately couldn't get the job done there. But now a much better chance out here.
Good point. It was quick play settings, so we should amend the score to say 3.5 because we really only played half a map on Neon Junction. So, you know, it's not quite as crushing a defeat for Rakattack. And hey, again, like they might be able to get. Oh no!
That's what happens. Oh, they just fell right through, and then the grapple.
They're doing her so dirty with that one. We didn't need to see the POV, but I'm glad we did. That's ouch. I felt secondhand pain.
I love the wave. I love the wave at the end. It's just like it's just like I know what's about to happen. I'm unfortunately giving up.
Like I know. I know it's cooked. I know I've messed up. I live with my failures and I'll die with them too. Joystick now on the attacking side, and Lexi Lou gonna give it the old college try again on the Widow. A lot fewer pits on point A and B that you can fall into, so looking good.
I believe we do have a listen in. I did hear some audio in the background, so we're gonna listen to Team Joystick.
Yep, still junk. Sig. Cass. They're on the same comp as last time.
I'm putting Orb on our Genji, and I'm kind of just gonna spam down choke. All your targets. No anti.
Stick no shield.
No rock, yeah.
Nice.
Big one.
Laser focus from Team Joystick. They are locked in, and they have locked in 2 ticks here off the back of just walking it down, and Adrian taking down Cartman should be enough to secure the 3rd tick, as nobody from Team Rakattack is going to be able to get themselves back in there, and a nice little flourish coming out from Mona. Knows the job is done. Time to move on to the next.
And to emote for just a little bit, and also even though they got full cap, you know, even though the comms are a little bit quiet, you can see that they're still confident. They get that first point. They've got over 5 minutes in their time bank. This map is far from over. I do believe this is actually going to be our last map tonight, at least on broadcast. You know, it's already been 2 hours. Might be more in the server if you join. I think I saw also some people are playing some Jaxbox games, so maybe if you're not in the server, you should be joining for that. But this is there's a lot of bragging rights. It's not only for if Rakattack get the first win, but it's also just last map of the night, which I feel like might be the most impactful in terms of who actually takes the win.
Yeah, we can wait for Team Rakattack. You can just be like, yeah, this one's for all the marbles, all right? You know, the rest of them didn't count. They were all practice.
This is 5 points.
Was all building up to. Mona with a nice little deflect there onto the Junkrat, and Hartman trading it out though. Accretion putting Mona down, and 4 versus 4, but this is gonna favor the defensive side. Huge nade coming out from Otto.
Absolutely, we're gonna see right now if Team Rakattack can hold. They're gonna use the tree at least to get some things going. Gravitic Flux is well committed now by Cartman to try to stop the bleeding, but the bleeding ultimate gonna go on to their counterpart on the Sigma, and Joystick still has the nano in their pocket.
Yeah, that might be the win condition here for Joystick, and Team Rakattack don't really have a whole lot to deal with it. A Deadeye might not be quite enough. Joystick is going to be looking for the opportunity to let this nano rip. Sees Mona up there in a trap, and the nano blade could come out, but you probably want to wait until your Genji has full control of his keyboard once again. Grapple shot from Lexi, not going to find a whole lot, but Mona will, carving right through Wolf, has the backline in his sights, will take down Otto, and nobody else dares square up for a duel with this demon.
I don't know if you're smelling what I'm smelling, but this smells like overtime to me. This seems like 2 full caps and extra rounds to play, because Team Joystick, they are definitely full throttle right now. They did use basically everything in their ult bank, but they will also have a Gravitic Flux. So even if you're contested here at the 2nd point checkpoint, which I don't think they will be, I would say you had the Flux, you could just do a Flux 9 to get them off the objective. But yeah, not even going to be tested. So 4.5 minutes in their time bank. Their ult bank a little depleted. And I think right now you're just playing to see if Team Rakattack will use some of the utility that they have at their disposal. If you get an ultimate, 2 ultimates out here, while you continue to take space and take, you know, more of this objective, it's a win-win, but like no one's really even like facing up to them. There is a corner that Team Rakattack is taking, so that might be better defensively, and finally they're going to let this Junkrat ultimate rip.
All right, the rip tire. Yoji, though, is going to snipe it out, though. Wolf, up on the high ground, courtesy of the pedal platform, is going to elevate themselves to another plane. And Mona, I'm sorry, you just weren't on it, my friend. And hello, my Junkrat, he's not on the map at all. He's fallen off of it. All right.
In solidarity
L for Team Rakattack on that one is Joystick going to be more than happy to press that advantage. Gravitic Flux to try and clean things up, but Lexi taking down Wolf and going to be traded out again, but this is all favoring Team Rakattack as they've got the momentum and they can feel it. A nano onto Rakattack with the Tree of Life and the nano, and my boy is in there and he is letting those thorns fly, taking down Yoji. Doesn't matter, God has won.
Now he might be being sent back to spawn as the chase is on from Joystick. The ultimate 1v1, I just saw it, Biotic Nade fly in. But we're going to see if Rakattack can get out of this. We're going to listen to those comms to see how it happens.
I
you got that.
you. Holy. Is there a Weon back here too?
On a half.
It's okay.
Well, that's one way to get him back to your team. Just let him die. Just let him be chased down by Team Joystick. They managed to find him. Unfortunate pedal platform from Rakattack, but now my goat is back with the rest of his team. Job's done. All right, you know, it was worth it.
Kill time though, like for real, like that's at least 30 seconds off the clock right there, just trying to chase them down. But that's going to be the highest of noon. The Deadeye going to connect from all the way above with the platform, and Team Rakattack, they will stabilize them again. So that's a big play, honestly. It might seem silly that Rakattack is like all the way in their backline with the nano. Maybe not the most objective nano target that you want, but you kill time off the clock. It's kind of like playing Wrecking Ball. Everyone's chasing you down. Mona finally finds you, but you're not contesting the objective. You're just playing for that all that time. And now at least only 2 minutes left in the time bank, so even if they do full cap, you're gonna have more time guaranteed in extra rounds.
Yeah, we'll see if they do even get that far, because it still feels like miles away. They got to get around this first and second corner, and the Gravitic Flux wasn't enough to get them through the second one. Cartman, though, with the Gravitic Flux, can't finish off Lexi. The pocket is just too good, and Team Joystick able to weather the storm. A nano onto the Ash is going to try and burn that tree down. A little bit of deforestation coming out, but it just ain't enough. The Junkrat pipes coming through. Cartman again with the rocks and the spheres and all the damage, and it's just too much. Joystick, they just can't stick around. They gotta bail.
And no nano too, so this blade from Mona might just be dry. They might not have any extra utility to back them up, and that's not necessarily saying that it wouldn't get value, but definitely a bit less sustainable. But it doesn't even matter. You get the Cassie right off the rip.
Yeah, that's the biggest threat to this Dragon Blade that could come out from Mona, but I'm wondering if we're waiting for Joystick to come up on the nano. He's only halfway to it, so I think it's better to use this sooner rather than later. The opportunity going to present itself. You can see Mona looking for it, hunting, trying to find a low HP target. Does see one, goes in for the dash, but can't clean up the Junkrat. Oh, Rakattack, he's got that grip, and he pulls him back in. Auto falls, though. Joystick able to snipe him out, and now with the Tidal Blast and the Dragon Blade taking down Wolf, and this cart marching forward onto a full completion here, and Rak stuck in a corner, and that will be his final resting place. Going up to a minute in the time bank. Team Joystick, like Chaperone, they get the job done.
Great reference, Also, a Horse of No Name. I didn't touch on it earlier. Also, great reference. A lot of music references. Yeah,
I was proud.
I was thinking about it. Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, Rakattack, his team unfortunately does falter, but still, look at the time bank difference. I have heard attacker's advantage. That is something that I've actually heard Rakattack himself say quite a bit watching his co-streams. That even if you have less time, you just have this advantage. Where I've honestly felt the same playing. It's like you're setting the pace by playing attack first, but this time big advantage, it might not be enough to overcome. If you get the first point, you're basically going to be out of time. Like it's like one fight and you're done if you lose it.
Who was ground zero for that that attacker's advantage propaganda? Who was it that started that? I forget. Like, because it's become like everybody says it now.
Like low key, was it Apply? I can't remember honestly. But yeah,
it was either Apply or Derpy. I'm not sure. Like it was one of those two. It had to be. I can't
I'm
remember.
sure chat
It feels
will
like eons
reprimand
ago.
me if I'm wrong, so I'm sure someone in chat probably knows eventually. I'm looking at it right now. We'll see if someone lets us know. But yeah, that's kind of been like is it a conspiracy theory? Like that's the way I would describe it. It's not actually really proven, but just everyone thinks it.
I think I don't believe in attacker's advantage, but I do believe that people they've memed it into existence, right? Like they just kind of like gaslit themselves into thinking it's a real thing. So now it's like confirmation bias. Every time they lose a map, they're like, well, they had attacker's advantage. What can you do? It's impossible. Uphill battle all the way. Joystick, they're gonna have an uphill battle in front of them. Only a minute to get the cap coming through here, and Rakattack on the Bastion and the Weaver once again, and it's gonna be a tough nut to crack here.
Yeah, no jetpack hat, but I think the thing is you can elevate the Bastion, or okay, never mind, they're just dead, and we have cast a cursed tome once again. It's gonna be difficult. I think if you're Team Rakattack, you might just try to escape and then like re-engage once the less thing like you've already capped a little bit of the point, because you can re-engage fully once you've got your Bastion back into the mix. But no, they're just they keep fighting this, and they're actually winning.
Well, a tick has been given over though. 5 seconds left, and Joystick, they're gonna have the closer spawns, but they're not gonna have the supports there, and they don't have anybody contesting the point. And we couldn't get the Sigma there in time. Phaedron was only a couple of meters away, but might as well have been on another tectonic plate. And that tick and a half, it's gonna have to be enough.
They kind of did what I said. They didn't fully disengage and then re-engage when the Bastion came back, but they did run away, and they actually came back at the opportune moment. So it's really unfortunate for Team Joystick. They do get that one tick, so there is a win condition, but 3.5 minutes. That's a lot of time to overcome, because you lose one fight, it's GG's. Your spawn as a defender is so much farther than an attacker. Even if you go equal in a fight, the attackers will have the advantage because their spawn is much closer, so their heroes will just get back into the fight. We're going to see the overhead angle of how that kind of all fell through. And yeah, I mean, even if you do touch, I just feel like there's not enough time for I was just talking about the attacker spawn being better, but in that scenario, you're down so many. There's just no way you get back into that, unfortunately, for Team Joystick. So now might drop their first map and only map. I believe we're also hearing some comms right now, so we might be doing a comms check briefly.
Was that a... Okay, all right. We're gonna have we'll have some comms later on, but it's still you and I yapping over this attack coming out from Rakattack, and I gotta say, if they're able to take it, it was the Weaver all along. The Weaver believers rise up. We just had to get Rak back on his true main. Now he's on the Mercy, gonna go for a damage boost onto Wolf. Doesn't find anything but a Skyhook coming out from Cartman, and Vader's like, what the hell just happened? Nice accretion coming out though, catches it onto the jetpack cat, and Otto brought back down to terra firma, and Lexi Lu cleaning that one up. Another hook coming out from Cartman as the res comes out. Rakattack went in deep to make that one happen, but we are all back to an even 5 versus 5 here. What a play from Team Rakattack.
I like
the hook getting blocked
the Roadhog, but it's like every time they go for the hook, it's onto the tank. That tank is just not going to get one shot like a squishy character would. So they really need to find it on the backline on a DPS. But the Skyhog is still just terrifying. Like, imagine that, like, being above you. I would be terrified.
Yeah, that's why people, they always say, when pigs fly, but they're not saying that as like hyperbole. They're saying that out of fear. They rue the day that pigs do learn to fly, but Team Rakattack, they are soaring right now. Mona able to take down Tome in the sky.
Entrap.
We do have comms from Team Rak.
I come back fast. Live.
I'm a little low.
Live, Rak. I'm here.
I need help.
No! Coming. How about the Genji? Eventually.
Fine. We got the trade.
Sick half.
No field.
No lamp,
I'm
no
going
lamp.
to 2, I'm going to 2. 3, 2, 1. Back one. Yes!
No,
Please push me in hotel.
Big man.
I'm dead.
Wait, save point. Lucio!
I'm healing.
Oh my god!
Yes!
Nice.
Yes, let's go! We got Rakattack a win!
Yes!
Let's go. I got a win. I won the quick play game, I feel.
They got it. They did it. They got Rakattack a win. You can hear the joy. They finally, they didn't let their captain down. They got him his one, and like we said, this was the only one that mattered. Was for all the marbles. Everything that happened before, even the quick play match, that's only half a loss and doesn't even count. Rakattack got the big one.
Yeah, definitely do not look at the scoreboard right above us that says 4-0. Should say 4-1 very briefly, but yeah, this was the moral victory, I would say. And again, Joystick, like, first game that he off-rolled, even the last game he was off of Vendetta. I think we're just seeing like how good Joystick truly is on this one hero and how much of a difference he made overall in the lobby. His team will take the overall victory, but it is the moral victory for Team Rakattack at the very end. Taking the last map, and again, one that was very close and very fun. I think that's the biggest thing is I mean, the previous map, was it like Route 66? I'm trying to remember which one it was. That one was not close, but then we saw Runasapi, which was a lot closer. Here on King's Row, we got a lot closer for game 2. That's what it's all about. It's all about having fun and close games. I think even if you lose, if it's a close game, it doesn't feel as bad. Maybe it does because you were so close to winning. I don't know, but either way, these close matchups, they're just so much fun to cast over.
Yeah, it's fun. It's also fun when it's just, you know, a community night, kind of that pugger feeling where, you know, the vibes are kind of chill and people are doing a little bit of trolling here and there. As you saw Rakattack going into, I guess, recontest point A, kind of felt like he left the job undone there, went back for that one, got punished for it, but gets back to his team, and Team Rakattack still able to mount a pretty solid defense off of that one. That's the kind of thing that you're probably not going to see a whole lot in pro play, but you saw it here, I was here, I got to witness the Rakattack Lifeweaver in its purest form, and I wouldn't say I'm a believer, but I've definitely seen the light.
Lifeweaver Nation, how are we feeling after that one? I mean, I think that's enough reason to get more play, get some more buffs, right? Blizzard, if you're watching, this is what needs to happen. This is the future of Overwatch, Lifeweaver. But
I've got a history of crash outs at Lifeweaver players, specifically on my team. But hey, you know, if it's Rak, I ain't gonna mind. I trust him.
There's something so interesting about the full mechanic, because in theory it can be such a great way to save your teammates, but there are so many times where like I get pulled out in the middle of like an ultimate or like I'm about to get elimination, and it's just like, why'd you do this? Why have you forsaken me like this? Like, I know the intention is good. I think 90% of the time it's like they're not trying to troll you, but they end up doing it anyway. It's so unfortunate, but that's just how it be.
You know, this has unironically happened to me, and I'm still mad about it to this very day. All right, this guy trolled me, and you know what? He's still in my skin. He lives in my head rent free. He won. He was playing Lifeweaver. I was playing Ana. He would keep using the pedal platforms to like go on, like jump over the wall on the last point of Shambali, and then would pull me into the enemy backline with him against my will. So I would just die and like he's taking me down with him. It's like like, mechanic is interesting. I agree when it is used correctly, but when it's used to troll, it costs me a keyboard and a desk. I gotta replace those now.
At least not a monitor. So at least there's that. At least you kept one thing intact.
One thing that I do get to cling to, and Rakattack gets one victory that he gets to cling to, and it's off the back of the Lifeweaver, and it's been a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun getting to cast these games, and it's a ton of fun getting to see the community come together alongside the pros, the content creators, and everyone coming together. It takes a village, and we've got quite the village here.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of people behind the scenes. I mean, we've got a huge staff at Team USA, a lot of volunteers who are dedicating their time. You know, there's summer vacations for this. We'll talk a little bit more about how you can actually potentially help them and help us. But before we get into that, we're going to talk a little bit about the World Cup in general. We have Busan upcoming, as we've talked about a bit. The group draw was just a few days ago, and USA, oh boy, did we get one heck of a draw. The group of death is what it's been described as quite a bit. It is some of the most interesting and some of the best teams out of all of the regions. We've got USA as well as China, Sweden, and Japan. I mean, Sweden looked really impressive to me in their EMEA qualifier. I think they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. Japan, they've got some great up-and-coming players that are playing in their region, as well as Finn, who's on DK. And then China, although it's not the same roster from 2023, I think Langsa is the only returning player. You never know, they could surprise us. And I think also there's a little bit of beef there because they were the team that knocked USA out in 2023. And fun fact, I was actually doing the social coverage for that game. I still remember it and how painful it was to get 3-0'd by them.
Yeah, I remember that game as well. I was there at BlizzCon for that game, and I was a little disappointed. I want to see Team USA go the distance, but it was still a wonderful time. But I agree with the group of death sentiments here, because Sweden, like even looking historically throughout all of the Overwatch World Cups, there's a degree of consistency amongst Team China and Team Sweden. Like, they've always been solid. I think aside from 2023, where Sweden didn't make it out of groups. Yikes. Aside from that, there's consistency, right? They still have some of the best players in the world coming from that region, and Japan might be one that sticks out to some of the old heads who might not be woke to it, but Japan's been on the rise, and if you ain't been paying attention, and now's about as good a time as any to keep your eyes on the region, because they are coming together and they are stepping up in a big way, and I think they're a team not to be slept on in this group.
Absolutely not. I don't think any team should be slept on this group. I'm still excited. I hope we've got some great games, and I hope that we went out and make it to BlizzCon. Obviously, a little bit of bias there, but also there's OWCS coming up in Paris, France for EWC. There is going to be some staff on the ground, so if you are in attendance, be sure to be on the lookout. I believe we're going to have some little giveaways, just little things that we're giving out to people that we see. We're going to be filming some content if you want to be in that, so definitely keep your eyes out for that. But we also have some more exciting news coming up. We're going to be showing off, I believe, production, if we're ready. We're actually going to be showing off, all right, cool. We're going to be showing off some merch that we will be releasing, hopefully, before Busan. The plan is going to be for early August. This is just one of the designs that we're going to be doing. We're going to be showing off a full line with multiple merch items. We're giving an exclusive first look here for those who are watching tonight. And all of the funds raised from that will be going straight to our volunteer staff to help them for their time and all of their dedication. You know, this is not a paid gig for anyone, but there is some prize money involved for the committee members. But for the volunteers, they're doing this just out of the sole love for the game. So we're going to hopefully sell some really cool stuff to help them out.
I love it. Like, when you showed me this design, I was like, oh, I love him. I love this little star guy. He's a fun little character, just a little guy, and
just a little
adorable. Like, this is the kind of stuff I would like wear around the house. Like, I'd wear it to the gym. Like, this is peak. This is heat. I love it.
Yeah, and it's just one piece of our upcoming collection. We'll have more details on that very soon. Our target date is early August, so be sure to follow our socials and keep an eye on that. We'll also make announcements in the server when it goes live. And I know I've said it to death. This is just one of the pieces we're doing. We're doing a full merch lineup with multiple options. So can't wait to have this be released publicly and for hopefully people to wear it at not only Busan but BlizzCon.
It'd be nice to be able to go and comp. Unfortunately, I don't think I can make a flight out to Korea just yet, but you know, I know a guy on the inside. All right, so I'll try and comp. We'll see. If I have to buy it online, so be it. We'll figure out a way. But I do kind of want this shirt. Like, this isn't a bit. This isn't me trying to sell it. Like, this is adorable. I love it.
Yeah, your people talk to my people. We don't even have a name for the star. Dude,
I was gonna ask. Like, do you have a mascot name or anything in mind? But like,
I mean, Starry was the first thing that comes to mind. That feels so basic. You know, maybe we'll run a poll and see what people want to do. I think the idea is we're also gonna like create emotes with him in multiple poses. He's definitely gonna like kind of be a little bit of a mascot. But we'll see. You know, there's a lot of upcoming stuff, and I think that's the biggest thing. There's so much upcoming for the World Cup in the next few months, and there's so much to be excited about.
I like that idea. You know, you should have the community like you know, in the Discord, like run a poll or like have some of them suggest some names. You know, maybe take like your favorite five suggestions or so. Have people vote on it. You know, figure it out. Maybe like that could be a good idea. Do it like start right now, right this second, and by the time you know, have it run until you guys go to Busan, and then by Busan maybe you have a team or not a team name, a name for our little star guy here.
Yeah, potentially. We also we did polls actually for this before. That was how we came up with what we would actually do for like, you know, what kind of merch we would do. So we love the community and we love hearing from them.
Someone in chat said John Overwatch. I think that's taken. That might be copyrighted. I don't know if you can go with John Overwatch. I think there's a couple of pros that lay claim to that name or would very much so like to. I mean, I like Starry. It's basic, but it fits. It works. But I also do kind of like the idea of getting some of the creativity of the community and helping them feel like they're a part of things, because they very much so are. And that's what this community night is all about, showing that they are a part of things. They can come in, be a part of this community, play the games with the content curators and the pros, and just have a good time, you know, play out with some friends, chill out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you here, CeeBee. Thank you so much for stopping by, sharing this night with us. There's so many people behind the scenes. I think we do have a thank you screen, so I'm not going to name all of them, but this really, I think I've said it so many times, it takes a village to make this production happen. Yep, those are all the names right there. There's so many people that are involved with this, and there's so many people beyond our production staff too, our community admins, community managers who were organizing lobbies, helping play, helping make sure everything went well, our content creators who were here tonight to play with everyone. It was just an amazing Herculean effort from everyone involved, and I'm so thankful to have such a amazing community that wants to be involved and help us out.
And I'm thankful I got to be a part of it as well. Thank you for the invite. It was a pleasure to get to come back and cast with you specifically, because like, you know, like you said, you've been out of the booth for a while. It's been like a couple years since you and I got to cast together. We ran it down way back in Calling All Heroes. I think did a Ride of the Valkyries together as well, but it's been all quiet ever since, and it's been too long. You know, sometimes it's nice to just go back with old friends and, you know, like we never left.
Yeah, my voice definitely has not kept up. I'm feeling the strain already. I don't know how you do it every single week with your tier 1 broadcasting gig. Very, very cool. But
shout out Got Moxie, by the way, for putting me on to Vocal Zone Throat Pastilles. That's my secret weapon. All right, I was casting the other hero shooter for 6 hours this morning, and I was like, I got to do this game night thing. I don't want to sound like a chain smoker, so you pop one of those about an hour before the show, and it's like it sounds like I just woke up, like I'm fresh, ready to go.
Absolutely, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to everyone watching, everyone who participated. We appreciate it. Again, check out our socials, USA OWWC on most of them. I believe maybe Instagram we have like a hyphen in there or something. But we really appreciate all the support and fandom. Be on the lookout for our merch launch. Thank you, and have a great rest of your Saturday.